Hello, all guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to the newest episode of the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast, brought to you on YouTube, on Spotify, on Google, and Apple Podcasts. I'm Austin. I'm a knockout. Watched a lot of wrestling.
I'm David. I'm a noob. Haven't watched nearly as much wrestling in Friends. It is our special Valentine's Day episode.
I feel like we shouldn't say that when this is not going to be released until well after Valentine's Day.
I have a whole bit. Don't save that for after the bit. All right.
Okay.
I have preempted this. We as wrestling fans, we focus so much on the trials and tribulations of a bunch of dudes and ladies who really like getting into a fighting ring together and knocking the stuffing out of each other in violent, angry, hateful blood feuds. We, on this podcast, do not nearly talk enough about love. Truly one of the most important virtues that our world has ever known. We must all learn to love one another better if we want to see a better society emerge. And I'm really excited this evening to promote such a virtue as the love we can share. Not fighting, not anger, just love. And I'm sure we have an episode queued up just for that, Austin.
Yes, of course.
Right?
Our Valentine's Day episode on Valentine's Day, which is of course February 19th, of course.
Well,
that is
look,
when
we're recording on the 14th. We're recording on the 14th, close enough.
Yeah, I'm very sad to say that I don't think that this is going to play into David's love theme at all. As we are going back to Coliseum Home Video, and this Coliseum Home Video was released, or at least all the matches were filmed in a period of time that we know quite well on this podcast. Actually, we had a whole arc take place in this year. It's time for a new generation. It is time to return to 1994.
Yes, a period of time in wrestling that I love.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I picked this one because the name is funny, and I was like, also because it has a chance for me to fuel kind of an excuse to do one of my favorite impressions on this podcast. So,
oh no!
Tonight's episode is Paul Bearer's Hits from the Crypt.
Yup. God damn it! You fucking mentioned that. How did I? You mentioned that in last episode or so. You mentioned that to me previously. I should have known that you couldn't help yourself. That you could not stop yourself from reincarnating, for resurrecting the soul of Paul Heyman and letting him possess you so you can do the voice again. God damn it.
I mean, I love doing the Paul Bearer voice, but also WWE just shamelessly did a parody of Tales from the Crypt.
Wait, really?
I looked it up to make sure, but Tales from the Crypt started airing in 1989. They were 100% referencing that show when they called this Hits from the Crypt.
What fucking audience were they appealing to with that?
The audience they had in 1994, of course.
Big Tales from the Crypt fans, I guess.
Yeah, there's no way that wasn't intentional. So, fun fact is that this video doesn't even, you'd think that this would be an Undertaker heavy episode because it's being hosted by Paul Bearer.
Of course.
But no, there is actually only one match from The Undertaker on this videotape.
What? Paul Bearer won't even fucking feature his own son on the
it's tape? My Hits from the Crypt, and it doesn't feature The Undertaker because he fucking sucks.
How are they even from the Crypt if they don't feature Undertaker?
These are just Paul Bear's personal favorite matches, I guess. I
I
don't know.
wonder, man, I wonder if Paul himself actually got to curate that shit, or they're just like,
Probably
hey, Paul,
not.
here's a bunch of matches you got to MC for. Have fun.
Now,
And he's like, okay, I guess.
now these matches were all filmed in spring of '94, which means we have not watched any of them before. I did
Yeah,
consider
this is
that
gonna be
possibility.
this is gonna be pre
Pre the
our
arc we did.
Undertaker arc.
Yes. But a
Okay.
lot of your favorite players are here.
Uh-oh.
The Peacock description advertises 2 matches, so I'll go ahead and bring those up.
Okay.
We get the Earthquake, because he's still wrestling in '94.
Yeah, I think I remember him showing up in our last new generation Raw.
I think he showed up like one time in one
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, I mean,
He was on his way out to go show up in fucking WCW and be what did he fucking call himself? Avalanche, I think.
Oh, that guy.
Then he called himself the Shark.
Oh.
Great times.
That sounds awesome.
But he is going one-on-one with Atom Bomb, who, as a reminder, he apparently is a nuclear radioactive wrestler. I don't know. His name is a joke on Atom Bomb.
Yeah, no, yeah. Oh my god, the new generation gimmicks are so dumb.
Is he radioactive? I don't know.
Bro, new generation is literally like what people think of when they think of like reasons wrestling is stupid. Like new generation was literally Vince taking every stereotype about how stupid wrestling can get with its over the top gimmicks and just being like, why yes.
Of course it is. And then the main event match is a one-on-one match between The Undertaker and Crush.
Who even?
Crush Shaka Bra. He is a surfer dude, except by this point, he is evil Shaka Bra.
More like Shaka Na, am I right?
That's a better version of my joke. Yep, he is evil now, but he is still Hawaiian. That's still his whole gimmick. He's
Hawaiian?
Yes, I believe he is actually Hawaiian.
Wow! Oh my god! The Fed getting an ethnicity right. That's new.
Now I want to double check that, but I'm pretty sure he is Hawaiian. Yes, he was born in Hawaii. Of course they managed to get the ethnicity right on the white guy, is the way I see it.
Oh, he's white Hawaiian?
Yes, he is white.
Oh,
but he was born in Hawaii.
Or some shit. God.
No.
Oh, God, you got me all excited. I was like, wait, they actually correctly cast a brown person.
No.
Oh, of course. No, of course. Why would they? That's too much effort.
Nah, he was born in Kona, Hawaii, and raised in Hawaii, but no, he is white.
God fucking damn it.
We did not get, for the briefest of moments, a brown person cast as the right ethnicity.
At least they're not having him do brown face. At least they're not having him do brown face. At least they're not having him do brown face.
Mm-hmm. All right. So this videotape also says it is starring Bret the Hitman Hart, Shawn Michaels, and Scott Hall.
Oh, hey, yo.
Yes, all 3 of them are on this tape.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo. That is the correct. I almost want to say the matches. It's like, do I want to say the matches just to give myself more things to talk about? Or do we let this one sit and just find out what happened, what we're going to get here tonight?
Just fuck around and I mean, if there's like interesting story, like to any of the potential matches here that you know about and want to share, Godspeed. If not, I mean, I think we could just let it be a mystery box.
No, I don't know. I mean, okay, Crush tag teams with Yokozuna because by this point, Crush has rolled up with Yokozuna as part of a Jim Cornette led stable.
That's a weird. That's a weird combination. Yes, the three things that go together quite well: Jim Cornette, Yokozuna, and Crush. Is there a reason they're together, or is it just because Mwahaha we're evil?
From what I remember, it was just a lot of Mwahaha we're evil.
Of course. I mean,
Crush
to be
tur-
fair, that is
Crush
kind of Jim Cornette's whole personality, so can't
Crush
expect much
turned
from him.
Crush turned heel because he felt betrayed by Randy Savage for reasons I don't remember about. I have watched all of 1993 WWF, which means some of this I even remember. But I don't remember fully why he turned on Randy, like what the incident was that made him turn on Randy Savage, but he did. And then that was his motivation for turning heel. And then after that, they're just like, fuck it, just throw him in with Yoko. We do not care.
Sure. Yokozuna, who's also heel for stupid reasons. It fits.
Yoko's heel because Foreigner bad.
Because Foreigner bad, and also big giant man for Hulk Hogan to murderize.
Yep.
Yeah, all right. That sure.
Yeah, so that is our show for tonight. Paul Bear's hits from the Crypt.
Oh God.
If you would like to watch it along with us, Peacock is your friend here once again.
Hey.
I didn't bother to look up if this is available online somewhere that's not under a paywall, but I'm going to assume probably not, because there's not a lot of them that you can find online for free, these Coliseum Home video releases.
Preserve physical releases.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we'll be back to discuss Paul Bear's hits from the Crypt.
Oh, yes.
Hey. And we are back. We have finished Paul Bear's hits from the Crypt. And David, I have once again made a terrible mistake.
This fucking tape made me sick. This attempt on my life has left me scarred and deformed. And that is why I will be coughing this entire episode. No other reason.
This attempt on my life has left me
scarred
and deformed.
No. Oh, God. You see, this is what you get, motherfucker. You're like,
my first mistake. The first problem is that Paul Bear gave me nothing of interest to quote him on.
I know. Well, okay, you gave me some stuff of interest, but it's mostly just like it's mostly just riffing on the Paul Bearer-ness of it all. It wasn't. We were far from like peak Paul Bearer. This was B tier Paul Bearer. We get some general riffing at best out of this one.
Last time, the whole takeaway of the last time we were in the new generation is I was disappointed how boring it was. I came in expecting to have some fun things to riff on, and I ended up with nothing. And yet somehow I expected Paul Bear's hits from the Crypt to be different. That I would have something fun to riff on, and I got nothing.
See, here's the thing for me is like, I thought, silly me, I was like, last time we did the new generation was one of our earliest arcs. Like last time we were in the new generation, that was like early in the life of this podcast, relatively anyway. I think we were done like before episode 25, if I'm remembering correctly, or thereabouts.
Pre-episode 50 though.
Okay, yeah. So still kind of like, somewhat early days, less than halfway into our life here. And I still had, a lot of blind spots. And obviously I still do. I'm still the noob after all. But like a lot of my blind spots are more just like not knowing specific things about history and less having like an appreciation for the craft. So I thought, okay, I was like really mean to New Generation last time because I just didn't I thought that part of the reason I was mean is because I didn't understand kind of the finer nuances that a more seasoned wrestling vet that could make one enjoy the era more. And I will say there are some things about this era that I do appreciate more as a more seasoned noob. That said, oh man, oh boy, oh geez, oh no. It's still the new generation, and it's still just as dumb and still just as materialist, mostly because like the fruit is so low hanging that it's kind of like in the ground, and it would just be more tedious than entertaining to bury it back the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that we have watched other Coliseum videos before this one, because now that I feel I feel a good ability to parse where like this goes wrong. And not be able to say, I guess this is just a Coliseum thing. But
yes,
no.
I would agree with that. The Coliseumness of it all doesn't help. I still contend we had the very best of Coliseum with bleepers, bloops, and bleepy slams.
See, my favorite so far has been the World Tour.
Really?
I think that was the best one of these yet.
World Tour was like, it was like I said when we did the World Tour episode, it was like the Goldilocks. But that said, like bloopers, bleeps, and body slams was so the fuck off the wall that I was in some form or other entertained throughout it all. Even in the most groan-worthy segments, it was like stepping into like a weird parallel bizarro universe that's actually real, where all of the WWE personalities just existed solely on deeply weird talk shows and reality shows, and that's it. And there was no wrestling whatsoever.
But that's fair. I do think overall, this we don't usually make direct comparisons between eras. We don't usually get a good opportunity to do so. But the fact that this arc has dipped into both the pre-new generation and the new generation, yes, I think really highlights the differences, and for the new generation, almost entirely the bad differences between the two eras.
Yes, because I will say this. My least favorite Coliseum video that we've covered was the fucking Hulk Hogan one, because that was a barren desert of content. I struggled so hard in that episode to find things to talk about.
If we couldn't just jokingly have Hulk Hogan talk about 9/11,
yeah,
you know, what would we have actually had to say?
Yeah, pretty much. All the best material from that episode came from shit we just took completely outside the ballpark of what the VHS actually showed us. So like I will say the at least new generation era Coliseum this week gave me some things I could appreciate. I was like, oh, Bret the Hitman Hart, I like him. He's cool.
I can't wait to get to that match. Talk about
or like Undertaker or early like Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, Scott Hall Kevin Nash / Diesel. Like there are I at least could enjoy like, look at these wrestlers that I have grown a great appreciation for since last time we were here. Because all of those guys, I remember just kind of seeing and being like, oh, those are guys last time we were in the generation. Now I'm like, hey, these are some dudes who I really respect.
Hey, those are guys.
Yeah. So like it gets stuff over on Hogan on the Hogan episode simply for that. But that it kind of stops there. I'm not gonna lie.
No. So we start the tape with the Coliseum video bumper, which is apparently has no sound, which is unfortunate because then we immediately get the loudest hit of the Undertaker's music I've ever heard.
Oh my fucking god. Yeah, I was like, wait, is my sound working? And I started bumping up the volume, and all of a sudden,
yeah, so we get like these weird filtered crap and slow-mo of like random match highlights, not necessarily of the Undertaker, and then cuts to Paul Bearer just doing stuff.
Yeah, there's so much like it's interspersed with like all these shots of Bearer like carrying the urn and pushing a casket, and of those interspersed with that is I think a single clip of actually an Undertaker match, and all the rest are just random fucking matches put behind like a black and white or like super deep fried red grainy filter
Oh,
with
it's
some
super
slow
deep
mo
fried
added.
red. This I could have posted a pic of this and put it on deep fried memes.
Yeah,
Um,
you would think, right, that like some post-ironic wrestling fan, if you took a still of that, this was just some random like 5 second creation of some like current day, particularly memey wrestling fan who's just like, look at the art I make by taking new generation stills and deep frying them.
yeah,
That's like, I didn't realize they could do that in the 90s. Didn't realize deep frying was an option, and it felt weird.
yeah. So I couldn't then I couldn't believe it. They actually did a Tales from the Crypt title
Yeah,
card.
okay. So we get the most Windows Movie Maker ass drip transition I have ever seen. Like like it's the transition where it looks like liquid is dripping down from the screen, but the liquid is actually the next cut. But it is Windows Movie Maker to the extreme. Holy shit. And yeah, they're just doing Tales from the Crypt. We found the one pop culture artifact that Vince actually is somewhat familiar with. Hey Freddie Prinze Jr., why do you need to watch Tales from the Crypt when we have Paul Bearer ass?
Yeah, except they don't commit to the bit at all. And I think that I mean, I'll just put this up front because this is a problem I just have the whole time. Is I kind of wanted Paul Bearer to actually kind of be the Crypt Keeper.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like an easy thing to set up for him to do. He's already a creepy weirdo. Just have
Yeah.
him, and he already has a tendency to like make death puns as part of his
Yeah,
time in The
seriously.
Undertaker. He could have already done like a TV PG Crypt Keeper, and yet he is given nothing in his script to say.
Yeah, I don't know how much of this was like improv on his part, but they're literally like, all right, Paul, here's an old theater that we have like the rent for, we have the lease of for the day. Give us a tour, please, but make it
And like,
spooky.
but like in 90% of what he said, they could have gotten Todd fucking Pettengill to do that. Because most of what Paul Bearer says is he just like, wasn't that great?
Yeah, why the fuck?
The
Like none
real
of these, aside from the
American
actual Taker
name,
match,
Lex Luger.
aside from the actual Taker match, they did so little to make this feel like Paul Bearer belonged the fuck here. There was one match that he like did a pseudo pun after that sounded deathy, and I was like, okay, I'll
I
give you
did make a
one.
note of it,
Yeah,
and then
the single brain cell, Austin, I'd say, has been firing on full capacity the past several weeks. We've been perfectly fucking in sync on
yeah.
some of these
So
notes.
like, Paul Bearer is just in the hallway of this boiler room or something. It's this creepy old hallway in the basement, I guess. He just comes out of a side room and he like welcomes us to the event and he says that, me and the Undertaker, we come here sometimes just to chill out. And I'm like, that doesn't feel like a phrase Paul Bearer should ever say. Is me
That
and the
felt
Undertaker,
wrong.
we just like chill out. Like, what the fuck? No. And
Also, at one point,
it wasn't even trying to be like a corpse joke. He just says it.
yeah, like he could have, I guess, flavored "chill out" to be a corpse joke, or if he was trying to, he failed miserably. But
Yeah.
but yeah, he's basically implying like this is the place where he and Undertaker go to have father-son bonding, and it somehow gets more and more uncomfortable each time he describes it throughout this video.
Yeah, and apparently Paul Barrett has a TV set up in the mortuary over there, and
I
that's
mean,
where
you got to be
he
doing something. You got to have something to keep you occupied while you're doing all that embalming, I
and this is
guess.
where he watches other people's wrestling matches, and these are apparently his favorites.
You think they watch tape in that room and then Taker practices moves on the cadavers?
I hope so.
God, that would have been a more interesting thing for them to say. This shit writes itself.
It does. The premise of this tape is actually extremely easy to write for, and yet they don't really try.
They fail miserably. Also, I want to point out that we had the subtitles on at the beginning, and Paul Bearer said WWF, but the subtitles still said WWE.
Oh hell yeah, they fixed all the subtitles. They're
aren't they allowed to like?
Way.
Aren't they allowed to say that shit again now? As long as it's for archival reasons.
Well, the subtitles aren't archived though.
What?
The audio is the audio is archived.
Oh, fuck off.
The subtitles are not.
Fuck off. That's so petty. I mean, I'm always for like being mean to Vince because we can, but that's so petty.
Yeah, I don't want to like jump in here, and I guess they won a legal case, so I guess the WWF had a point, but it feels weird to think that there was any market confusion between the World Wildlife Fund and the World Wrestling Federation,
especially nowadays when the World Wrestling Federation is very much worldwide wrestling entertainment.
Right. I feel like as a non-lawyer who has made no effort to look into this case, but is just a consumer of, I would think it feels to me like the only issue is that more people associate the phrase WWF with the Wrestling Federation, not the Wildlife Fund. But that's not. But that's not a market confusion problem.
And most people at this point also know about the lawsuit. So I feel like they, by default, then know that the World Wildlife Foundation exists. So, like, at this point, like, why'd you make him change the subtitles? Again, it's based to be mean to Vince, but also, Jesus Christ, that's so petty. You guys didn't have to go do that.
Wild.
That was, funny as always.
Mm-hmm. Paul Bearer hypes up some of the bigger matches that are going to happen later in the show. But first, we get Ain't He Great? JEFF JARRETT Jeff Jarrett.
Look at everybody's favorite spelling bee contestant.
Oh my fucking god!
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Jeff Jarrett comes out and Gorilla calls him like a fucking spelling bee winner, and that shit was so that was just perfection.
Yeah. So all of the Coliseum exclusive matches are called by Stan Lane, who is a former wrestler in the mid to late 80s, and Gorilla Monsoon. Yes. We all know him, but I guess I should mention he was a wrestler in the 70s.
He was a wrestler in the 70s, and he then went on to be one of the best commentators that the Fed ever had. Don't have.
Yeah, to the point where most people think of him as the commentator and not as a wrestler. Like
pretty much,
The only part about his wrestling career that I think anyone knows or remembers about is when he had an in-ring confrontation with Muhammad Ali. Other than that, nobody remembers anything he ever did as a wrestler.
That's unfortunate. But who needs to remember his in-ring wrestles when we can have the joy of him wrestling with Bobby Heenan's stupidity on a weekly basis?
Yeah, so but tonight we get a lot of Stan Lane and Gorilla Monsoon, and hot damn, do they got quips and jokes to make tonight?
Oh boy.
I made two notes of this I wrote Gorilla Monsoon dares to question if Jeff Jarrett could sing.
Yeah, except here's the thing. I asked you about that, and you're like, oh wait, no, he does have a point though. We've never heard Jeff Jarrett sing, actually.
And in fact, like the Road Dog, you know him from the New Age Outlaws?
Yes.
With Billy Gunn.
Mm-hmm.
He's called that because that's a playoff. That's an evolution from the Roadie, and he used to be like he starts in WF as the lackey of Jeff Jarrett, and it is revealed that Jeff Jarrett's hit country song "Be My Baby Tonight" was actually sung by the Roadie.
What the fuck?
in the continuity of the WWF, no, Jeff Jarrett can't sing. But also, how fucking dare you suggest that Jeff Jarrett can't sing, Gorilla? Fuck you, man.
Nah. Let him cook.
Stan Lane makes the comment he couldn't carry a tune in a bucket.
Yes. Also, Jesus Christ, the fucking strobes on Jeff Jarrett's entrance. I think I started having a seizure. Holy shit.
He's lighted. He's all lighted up.
That shit went so heavy. It was just bright black. Just, jeez, how did they get away with like not having advisories in front of this shit? Oh my god, that must have killed a few people.
I'd like to believe that they took the time to make sure that those lights were not the exact hue and speed required to induce seizures.
They were particularly slow. I will give you that. But holy shit, it was just so intense. God damn. Yeah, okay. So
and then his opponent is Lex Luger.
God, I forgot who it was for a second because in my notes, all I put was, oh hey, it's one of the most boring motherfuckers in all wrestling history. Don't at me. And then I proceed to forget who the fuck it actually was.
Yeah, it's Lex Luger. This is post WrestleMania 10, so a quick summary of Lex Luger's time as a top star in the company. At SummerSlam 93, he challenged Yokozuna for the WWF title. Didn't win. I don't want to go deeper than that because honestly, I want to save doing that arc for this podcast at some point. So why spoil the surprise? Yes.
You do? Why would you do that
to
me?
Because it's so stupid.
I think you'll die, Austin.
This is me having to prove there is something I can meme on in the new generation.
No, if I can't, you will never learn.
If I can't make the Luger Yoko work, the road to SummerSlam 93 work, I got nothing ever.
The Luger is the center point? Are you insane? That's gonna bore us literally to death.
But
I cannot overstate.
But he body slams Yokozuna on an aircraft carrier.
Austin,
he has a tour bus.
I cannot overstate how little I give a shit about Lex Luger. Lex Luger. I don't like him. I can't remember who the fuck he is half the time. I couldn't tell you a single damn thing about him aside from Murica. At least I can give you some like defining character traits of goddamn hacksaw Jim Duggan. At least I can give you something like some defining traits about him. Lex Luger is he got muscle and he Murica and that's it. Why is this an idea? Why would you do this?
Because I want to watch the Lex Express.
But
anyway, he challenges Yoko for the belt, doesn't win. Then in the Royal Rumble, they do a bit where Bret Hart and Lex Luger eliminate themselves at the same time, and therefore they are co-winners of the Royal Rumble. And so they both get a title match at WrestleMania 10. Where Lex Luger loses and Bret Hart in the main event beats Yokozuna for the belt.
Yeah, and then immediately gets dicked on by Hogan, right? Or something like that?
No, this is Hogan led. This is Hogan.
WrestleMania
9. Bret Hart beat Yokozuna for the title. Fought Yokozuna for the title twice in back-to-back years. And WrestleMania 9 was when Hogan decided to cash in his Money in the Bank contract. WrestleMania 10, Hogan is out of the company, and Bret gets to have his shining moment as the new top star.
Yeah, baby. I mean, we do see that at some point because we do see Bret as the world champ later on in this tape, and I was like, yay.
But this match takes place after Lex Luger has lost to Yokozuna again. And it felt like it because the company stopped trying to protect him.
Oh my God.
Stan Lane and Gorilla Monsoon were on something all night. So maybe it was them. But like for as tightly produced as WWF commentary always was under Vince McMahon, it is insane to me that they were allowed to say the things they were allowed to say about Lex Luger.
They buried this man. And the best/worst part is they did have a fucking point. Lex Luger, I'm sorry, looked like he was sleepwalking this entire match. And commentary says about as much.
Yep. But we do get to the match. My first note, work that headlock, Lex.
I literally work that headlock, circle around each other, stare each other down for long periods of time. The excitement, the drama, the violence.
This is classic psychology right here. Speaking of classic psychology, we get classic heel move by Jeff Jarrett where he complains to the ref about Lex pulling his hair when second before he was pulling Lex's hair. He's like, hey, get heel. Hair pulling. Hey.
Look at how unruly and hypocritical the heel is. Everybody boo this person.
At some point, Gorilla Monsoon just yells out, sit down there in the front row.
Yeah. There are some dudes who were just like walking through the front row and Gorilla's like, hey, down in front. My man doesn't give a shit. Commentary tonight. I don't know what they took before the taping. I don't know. It was something was off.
Yeah, so the commentary about Luger is they're all about like he doesn't seem to have enough competitive fire. He doesn't get amped up. He doesn't get excited about anything.
Yes.
And yes, Luger,
correct,
for reasons I don't even understand, because I've seen him in WCW and he can kind of be a bit of a maniac sometimes. I don't know why he thinks that he needs to be the straightest lace, most boring person alive, but doing this. But that's what he's doing.
To be fair, part of that's probably an invention of Vince, like, you're representing the good old US of A. You gotta act like an absolute golden boy. And Lex is like, but that doesn't give me any like character to work with. And Vince is
don't worry about it. America.
So that America. And to his credit, we see multiple times tonight that Lex is somehow amazingly over despite all of this. So maybe Vince had a point. Fuck.
I don't know. Either way, Lex is so goddamn boring here. And it doesn't help that this match is so disgustingly dominated by Jeff Jarrett.
Oh my God. Jeff is walking all the fuck over this.
I understand that an extremely basic formula that, especially in these 94 VHS tapes, WWF is not trying to break free of is heel dominates match, babyface comes back. Okay, great. The thing is that Lex has absolutely zero interesting comeback spots because he pretty much just hits one move and immediately goes back to being dicked on by Jarrett.
Yeah. It doesn't help that like we see
there needs to be more audience catharsis to the comeback spots. You're just quickly cutting it off again. And at some point it starts being like yawn. And the match goes like 15 goddamn minutes as well.
It takes more goddamn ever. It's not egregious as the match we have coming after this, but this was a slog. I think the whole reason Paul Bearer hand selected this one is he was trying to like put the audience in a deadly coma so he could bring them into his mortuary or some shit. I don't know. It's just I have nothing like fun to say about this match. It was just so so stupid. I made a big note of Jarrett's strut because I get a kick out of it every time. So absolutely. Right. There is one point because like again, Lex is just getting murderized for a lot of this. There's this one point where Jarrett has Lex in a sleeper hold and Gorilla just goes, "Oh, where's the offense?" While he's nearly unconscious in a sleeper, like I said, some commentary. I don't know.
I noted that. However, I did also write no one will be seated during the Lex Luger laying on the ground in a sleeper hold scene. Because neither of them move. They just kind of sit there.
This match moved in slow motion, dude. I swear to God. And here's the ultimate bullshit. So like, not only do we not get an interesting set of hope spots from Lex because he like hits one thing and then goes back to being like killed again, but also when he finally does get the upper hand, it's at the very last second, and he gets Jarrett he ends the match in the weirdest fucking way possible. He gets Jarrett up in like basically a fireman's carry across his shoulders, and then he just kind of starts bouncing Jarrett, makes him go bouncy.
The torture rack. This is his signature maneuver.
That's the torture rack?
Correct.
I thought we've seen the torture rack before, and it didn't.
No,
it wasn't that.
This is the torture rack.
You make your opponent go bouncy, and they say owie. That's
it. When you put it like that, this is a beloved move, David. I don't know how comfortable I feel.
Why? You're just giving them some especially aggressive ups. That there is no tap. Like, obviously, a lot of submission moves in wrestling are bullshit, but the torture rack looks more fun than anything.
Well, it was very painful, and Jeff Jarrett had to quit.
Like, immediately. I didn't even see a tap. It's just he started bouncing, and boom, done. That's it.
Yeah, I would like to point out that I had a very funny note where I wrote, Lex ends our torture with the torture rack.
And still, somehow that's a better pun than anything Paul Bearer says throughout this ungodly DVD.
But then I think Stan Lane is like, he finishes the match with the Rebel Rack, and I'm like, the what?
The what?
The what did you just call it?
The Rebel Rack? Oh, I think he's wearing the wrong flag if you're calling it that one.
No.
Oh, no. Oh, jeez. I wonder what Lex Luger thinks about states' rights.
States' rights to what, Lex?
States' rights to put people in the torture rack. Yeah. What people, anyway, Lex? Don't think about it.
Please stop. But I was like, I don't know where that came from, the Rebel Rack. I don't know where that came from. Bizarre. And I was like, what the fuck are you saying, man? But then, oh, yeah. We're back with Paul Bearer, to which he's, did you enjoy that great match? No!
And at the same time, Austin and I said no. We said no at the same time. That was great. Yeah, so this is at this point he kind of reveals that he's like touring this like old theater
this old
to
theater
us.
Built in the 1800s. It's one of our and Undertaker's favorite spots. And every now and again a ghost may walk by.
Yeah, again, I'm sure they have really cute bonding nights inside this old theater. I'm so happy they get to spend this valuable time together as father and son.
I agreed. Okay, match 2, moving on.
Thank God.
In the all click match.
Almost all click. 3/4 of the click.
Shawn Michaels takes on Razor Ramon, and this is when Shawn has Diesel as his bodyguard.
This is pre like Diesel turn, and this is also Razor Ramon, the bad guy, is the baby face.
Yeah, sure, that all checks out.
And they keep calling him the bad guy, which I guess this is like bad in the Michael Jackson way now.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be an interesting way to turn the Scott Hall gimmick. Anyway,
this is apparently an Intercontinental title match. I will say, because I was going to say this up front because Razor talks about it later in the match, is that basically what Shawn was Intercontinental champion, then he got hurt. Then when Shawn was hurt, Razor won the belt. Then Shawn came back and claimed he was still the champion because he had not been beaten for it. And at WrestleMania, they had a unification ladder match for both belts, which Razor won. So
wasn't that like one of the OG ladder matches?
I have more to say about. I have more to say about that in a different episode. In our next Coliseum video, I have more to say about that.
Oh, okay, interesting.
But yes, it was the first televised ladder match in the WWF.
Oh, well, that's nifty.
Yeah, so that all that talk of like who's the real champion is all kind of based around like this feud of Shawn believing that like Razor's never beat him straight up. So fuck you, man. I'm the IC champion.
Wild how there's a whole pattern in Shawn Michaels' career of him like not wanting to lose belts in a traditional way and then making a whole stink about it.
Oh, I don't think I really want to actually deep dive into Shawn Michaels' career and ask myself how many times has Shawn cleanly lost a title belt to somebody? I don't think I want to know the answer to that
I
question.
think the numbers will just make us sad.
Yup.
Yeah. So Gorilla Monsoon speculates that the match they both make their entrances and the match begins. Gorilla Monsoon takes note of the fact that Razor Ramon still has his toothpick in his mouth and Sean is still chewing gum, and he calls both of these simultaneously a dangerous aspect. And I don't yes, two equally dangerous things. A toothpick and chewing gum. Now, okay, like toothpick isn't a super deadly weapon, but one of those has got a lot sharper of a point than the other one.
Yeah. Also, they were talking about Shawn dancing, to which I got. We had some choice quotes. He was dancing like a Chippendales dancer. I believe that one was Gorilla. And Stan
Probably.
Lane he's got more moves than X-Lax, which is
I don't understand that.
that's
reference.
a thing you use to deal. That's anti-constipation medication.
Oh, well, that would explain it.
X-Lax. You get it. That's a
And more
laxative. That's the word I
Oh
was
my
looking
god.
for.
Jesus Christ. What is commentary? Oh god, I'm just gonna keep harping on this. Yeah, but we start off the match, and it quickly becomes apparent that a work rate match, that's illegal.
Yeah. So the Clique, for as much as they were all a bunch of politicking douchebags, were also
Yeah.
among the best workers in the WWF in the mid 90s.
And also, like, ever. I can't deny any four members of the Clique the fact that, like, all four of them are insanely influential.
All five. There's only four right now, but technically all five.
Who's number 5?
Who are you thinking of as the 4?
Triple H.
Sean Waltman, aka X-Pac, aka the 1, 2, 3.
You did say something about that, but I didn't. I kind of missed part of it. So since you mentioned X-Pac, I assumed you were talking about D-Gen X.
Yeah. No, X-Pac is the 5th member of the Clique.
Oh, okay. Well, that's sweet. Well, yes, X-Pac is also quite influential, although his career has been a lot shorter. Yeah. So, help me out a little with this one because I wrote a note that I've completely forgotten of. What is this submission hold? I don't know. Is there a point where one of the hits a submission hold that may or may not look especially like stupid?
Let's see. What do I wrote?
I think it was like
notes.
I think it was ahead of Razor's the thing with like seeing if Razor was still conscious. Maybe that's.
Oh, that might have been another submission. That might have been. I don't think I made a specific note about that. Let's see. I made some match notes. Sean goes for like a sunset flip move. Like he basically like tries to like jump from he tries to do like a full spin off the top rope and to land on Razor. Razor fakes him out, and then Sean just hits him the second go around. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, but first you don't succeed.
Like idiot. I'll just wait for you to stop fainting, and then I'll hit it.
Do it again.
They go fight out of the ring, and Razor pulls up the mat and tries to Razor's edge Sean onto the concrete floor.
Yeah, holy shit.
Which Sean does get out of, and he pushes Razor into the ring post, and then Sean body slams Razor onto the concrete. Of course, Razor was the one who brought in the concrete, therefore he's the one who's taking a bump on it.
See, I do see that happen a lot less with like mat pull-up spots, though. I see. I
sometimes they just do it.
Razor was like, "Don't worry, buddy. I'll take that bump for you. It's fine."
Made a note of one time Stan Lane being like, the bad guy not looking too good. I'm like, okay. Oh, I know what you probably made a note of because Stan Lane, Shawn Michaels gets in a rear chin lock, which is, this is 100% what you were talking about. So you got Razor is in a seated position.
Yes.
Shawn is behind him with his knee in his back and cupping up his chin.
Yes.
And
it looked like an even fucking dumber version of the STF.
Yeah, it is a rear chin lock, and Stan Lane suggests that many men would submit to such a powerful maneuver, but not the bad guy, to which I have never, ever seen a match where someone tapped out to the rear chin lock. If it happened, it happened in the pre-80s.
Jesus.
I would believe you if you told me there was a match in the pre-1980s that ended with a rear chin lock, because back in those days, a drop kick was a dangerous finishing maneuver that always put somebody down for the 3 count. So, back in the day, they just kind of lost to a lot more basic moves. So, you know what? Maybe somebody did.
Man, I fucking love the shonen animeing of wrestling.
The power creep is very real in wrestling.
It's the best. I think I have a note about that. I definitely have a note about that in a later match too. So it looks like Shawn is just gently cradling Razor's chin from behind, like a good friend.
But then Shawn puts in the headlock, to which I wrote, surprising we don't get the 1, 2, 3 hand thing before Razor gets up. Hold your horses on that. But Razor does get up, and then Shawn gets in another headlock, to which then Gorilla Monsoon yells about. This is targeting the mandibula fossa of the temporal bone, which is a real fucking thing. How? It is a bone in your skull.
How? Also, Jesus Christ, Gorilla Monsoon clearly has a fucking anatomy degree or something.
He absolutely loves to throw in minor anatomy when describing what a move is hurting.
Dr. Gorilla Monsoon, PhD in anatomy.
But then I spoke too soon about that headlock thing. That's on me, because in the second headlock, they do the 1, 2.
The hand staying up. The hand isn't dropping. Yeah. He's still alive.
And Razor does make his comeback and starts hitting Shawn. And we get some evidence that, Shawn, he was only moderately more cartoony in how he sold for Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
As Razor back fists him, and Shawn goes sideways.
Shawn just kind of died on some of these hits. For as much as powerful as that motherfucker wanted to make himself out to be, he's still willing to sell, at least to his friends. Yeah. And he went flopping on a few of those occasions, and each time, look, it's no Randy Orton, but it's still fun to look at.
Yeah. So Diesel starts distracting Razor and pulls him to the outside of the ring, and Shawn follows him. And then they just start punching at each other until the ref counts to 10 in a very quick double count, honestly.
The ref counts like a person? I didn't realize that was possible.
Mm-hmm. And Gorilla is yelling on commentary it should have been a DQ win for Razor Ramon because Diesel yanked him out of the ring. Not unfair.
But the ref didn't see it.
And I am now learning that Gorilla Monsoon called Razor Ramon the Razor Man.
Yes. That's another like JBL doesn't know Summer Rae's name, and JR does not know does not know John Silver's real name. Sometimes you just kind of know the nickname, and that's it, and that's enough to work.
But after they announce it's a double count out, Razor gets a microphone. He goes, "Hey yo, hey boy toy. You say you're the champ. I say I'm the champ. And everybody here wants to know who the real champ is. I say, let's finish it now." And before he says that last line, I wrote a Stan Lane quote being in like, "Sounds like a challenge to me, Gorilla."
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you,
Stan. Thank you, Stan. Stan is the I'm also here guy of the night.
Yeah, so Diesel is like encouraging Shawn to accept the challenge. The referee.
Wait, what? I thought Diesel was telling him, "No, you dipshit, don't do it."
He was like, I took it to him being like he's showing his fist. He's trying to get Shawn to do it.
Okay, I just don't remember then properly what he was doing.
The referee is like, please no. Please don't.
Yes.
So Diesel tries to sneak into the ring. Amazing. I don't know how. He is 7 feet tall. To keep
He's on his tippy toes.
But the Sean is trying to keep the ref distracted, and he tries to jump off the top rope. Razor intercepts him, and then like as they start doing moves at each other again, the ref just like, okay, fuck it, and the announcer just announces the match will continue.
Why did they restart the match? It's against the rules.
But then Sean hits a very poorly timed reverse thrust kick, as we will come to know that move as a super kick, aka the sweet chin music. But he just hits it, and Gorilla calls it by its technical name, and he doesn't pin anybody with it.
I know. This is like talk about like this is like the one opposite of power creep, where it went from being a nothing move to being a deadly finisher. This is the only move in wrestling we've seen go from a whatever burger to like a main event finisher. We found the anomaly, boys. Good job.
So Sean runs the ropes and he knocks into Razor, who also knocks into the ref, and the ref is out. And for some reason, Diesel is not just getting into the ring and interfering. It is in fact so egregious that Gorilla Monsoon, a babyface commentator, is asking why Diesel is not jumping in the ring.
I'm gonna need you to stop asking questions, Gorilla. I'm gonna need you to stop making it make too much sense.
Yeah, also Stan and Gorilla are asking where the fuck are literally any other referees, to which they, I guess, decided to be like, what are they all in the back playing poker right now?
Commentary, I'm gonna need you to stop. And I think he says something else to that effect too, because I have another note just below that's in all caps. Commentary, stop pointing out all the fucking plot holes.
I don't know what else they say besides those two things.
Also, yeah. So okay, so two fun things here. As this is happening, so Razor at one point tries to grab Sean for a superplex, like in the corner, and Sean just kind of like nopes him away by elbowing him in this kind of like delightfully nonchalant way. I thought that was sweet. And also, Razor took his fucking stupid pills because yeah, the ref gets knocked down by Sean / Diesel, and Razor knows that the ref is down and still just kind of goes for the Razor's edge.
Going?
Yeah. Oh no, that's what it was. Yeah. So the ref, so Razor goes for the Razor's edge, doesn't try to get the ref up, and then of course Diesel like. This is
when
Sean
Diesel decides to show up.
Yeah, well, Diesel wakes up a little bit, or Diesel shows up a little bit. He like kind of grabs Sean and tries to fuck with Razor.
Yeah, he takes the Intercontinental title belt, wraps it around his elbow, and then elbow drops onto Razor.
Yes,
with the belt.
Yeah, and then Gorilla goes to ask, why didn't he just do the sensible thing of waking the ref up and placing Sean on top of Razor and then waking the ref up? The commentary, I need you to stop pointing out all the fucking plot holes.
Yeah, so after that move, Sean takes an extremely long time to pin Razor off of getting hit. Like,
why is everybody in this match at their stupidest tonight? What is happening?
So as Sean crawls over to pin Razor, out comes Marty flippin' Jannetty.
Yeah, I thought at this point he'd been diagnosed with unemployable drug abuser and wasn't going to be around anymore.
Oh, he's getting close. Don't you worry about that. But he is sworn enemies with Sean. And so
yes,
Marty interrupts the pin. Sean tries to hold Marty to get punched. Predictably, Diesel just then punches Sean instead. The early era really big into malfunction at the junctions by like holding a guy to get punched, and then the guy just ducks.
Yeah, you think watching enough tape, people would like
see the problem there.
At some point, understand, right?
Right, but Diesel hits Sean, and Razor rolls up Sean off of the punch. We are building to Razor and Diesel eventually Shawn and Diesel breaking up. Um,
Yes.
but he
Poor
rushed
Shawn
Razor.
can't hold down a stable friend in this business.
No, he can't. So Razor rolls up Shawn for the win, and Paul Bearer is back to show us a very special room.
I don't want to see him special room, Paul. I don't want to see him
Stranger danger. Stranger danger. I don't want to see your special room in the abandoned theater in the basement of the abandoned theater.
Yeah, he violates our consent and shows it to us anyway.
It's a fucking dressing room, apparently.
Yeah, it's a dressing room. Yes, the specialist of room.
And he talks about Harry Houdini was in this room at one point, I guess. I don't know. And he's like, oh, he can feel the spirits now.
I also love whenever Paul, like, I have to say, before you do the speaking of spirits line, I also love whenever Paul turns his head and you can see his neck is like normal flesh color. Like, we've just got the palest face in the world, and then he turns his neck and it's like, oh yeah, that's like a real person. Why don't you blend your foundation, dipshit?
Yeah, sorry, David. They didn't bother to blend the foundations there.
They got so into the makeup though. Why didn't whatever? Okay. Yeah. So
but then he poorly segues about spirits. Speaking of spirits, tonight, Bam Bam Bigelow versus Mabel of Men on a Mission.
Yeah, I guess Mabel and Bam Bam are spirits. Very, very, very progressive of the Fed to employ ghost wrestlers. Thank you. Good job. Important strides.
Bam Bam.
Jesus Christ.
Bam
Bam is only marginally stupider than hearing anyone else say Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yeah, so Bam Bam Bigelow comes out with his manager Luna Vachon.
Yeah, Luna's here.
And Gorilla is trying to stir the fucking pot about how like that they are getting married soon is what I've been hearing.
I think Gorilla the way he talks about it, I think Gorilla just wants to fuck Luna and is very sad that Bam Bam Bigelow beat him to it.
And then we're on a mission.
Yeah, Acclaimed? Is that you?
My next note was thank God for gangster rap, as this is a rap gimmick, except it is 1994, which means it's before the days where gangster rap took over what the mainstream idea of what rap music is.
Yes,
and this is when like
for white people,
right? Like at this point in time, in 1994, if you ask someone to name a black rapper, they would mostly answer MC Hammer, and that 100% defines what Men on a Mission are like. They literally steal the hit song from Tag Team. Whoop, there it is.
There it is.
They literally are like, their crowd catchphrases, whoop, there it is. I'm like this, oh my fucking God.
Yeah, how the fuck did they not get sued into oblivion for that?
Because they're not singing the song, so they're just using
They don't need to sing the song. Fucking Vanilla Ice got in all that got all that legal swampery going just for having a modded bass line.
Yeah, but Vanilla Ice won that, so you know what does that tell you?
Fuck. God, I hate music copyright law. Anyway,
Men on a Mission are here, and there are layers to that name, by the way, because not only is Mom Mom is their name, that is also the initials of the members of the group. It is Mabel, Mo, and Oscar. Oscar is the one who does the rapping.
And he's not a wrestler. Oscar be like, I'm not a wrestler.
I'm not
so stop wrestling at me.
Yeah.
Oscar be like, I'm about to end this man's whole career.
Then Stan Lane, while this entrance is happening, suggests that Bam Bam doesn't look like a guy that would like rap, more of a heavy metal guy. To which my first thought was, of course, it's because he's white, isn't it?
Yeah, it's because he's tattooed and white. Excuse you, metal.
That admittedly does fit my stereotype for heavy metal fans.
That's fair.
But also be like, what do you mean he doesn't look like a guy that likes rap? Like, what are you trying to say with that, Stan?
It means he's in the ring with some real rappers, and don't ask why we associate the MOM with real rappers.
Right.
Also,
Then
Gorilla calls like this hoodie that Mabel is wearing a tablecloth, and excuse you, Gorilla. No, excuse you. That is clearly a drug rug.
yeah,
It's
so
like literally he's wearing like the stoner hoodie pattern. That
yeah,
it's a drug rug, not a tablecloth. Get it
yeah,
right.
it's this big hoodie thing. It's in like purple and white stripes.
Yes, and it's got like some little like decals on it, but it's a drug rug. It's
So
the stoner hoodie.
yeah. So Bam Bam tries to start the match, but mid entrance, so like Mabel doesn't get his hoodie off immediately. But
That hoodie stays on
Mabel,
for a hot second.
yeah, it does. But Mabel hits a goddamn arm drag and starts working the arm, and I was like, the fuck, man, because
Yeah.
you need to understand for those of you who have never watched Mabel is legit like 500 fucking pounds. He is a
man.
huge dude, and he's not that athletic either. So him working arm drags, I'm like, the fuck are you doing?
Excuse you, why are you trying to do mat work? You're a big hoss. Get hossin'.
Which I wrote Mabel working the arm, which means Mabel just lays on the ground holding Bam Bam's arm, and they're like, look at this devastating maneuver. Bam Bam ends up getting up. Bam Bam goes for a suplex, but Mabel is too fucking big, and he gets DDT'd instead. And this is when Mabel takes his jacket off, to which I wrote, he should have left the jacket on, because it reveals that, like, okay, so bottom, he has these like bright yellow pants with like what's the frilly cutoff thing I'm thinking of?
I don't tassel. I don't fucking know.
It's tassel E, and it's like, okay, but when he takes off his jacket, you realize it's not just pants; it is a full bodysuit of bright yellow.
He takes off this hoodie, and there's just a whole ass shirt component underneath. Why do you need the hoodie then? I mean, maybe
he's a hip hop rapper, so he's got to have the jacket.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, he's probably hitting that little bit of that grass backstage, and he wants the smell to embed into the hoodie much more than his actual gear. Yeah,
they tease me that something interesting might happen as Mabel gets knocked to the outside, and Bam Bam spends a hot second of like kicking at Mabel every time Mabel tries to get back in the ring. But while that's happening, Oscar and Luna Vachon get in the ring and look like they're about to throw down.
Dude, I didn't even notice that. This was another match I was kind of mad on, although it wasn't nearly.
Oh, I'm very mad on I'm mad on all Mabel matches.
See, which is a shame, because it's MOM seems like fun, but all of them suck as wrestlers. So
and
this is just a big hoss be big hossin match, and like, unless you're like, and it's not a terribly interesting rendition of the big hoss fight, so it's just kind of like these two larger men smacking into each other a bunch, and it's it's
but we do get a conversation about haircuts specifically. Okay, so Mabel has a bright yellow mohawk. And Bam Bam is bald with his head, and his head is tattooed.
Oh my God.
So Gorilla comments, I didn't know who he was talking about, but I think future context says he was talking about Mabel, where he says this guy, he has a great haircut for the electric chair. And then Stan Lane starts talking about Mabel living in the ghetto, to which I did not want to hear very white Stan Lane keep talking about this.
Uh-oh, stinky.
And I have more notes about them living in the ghetto in the other match that the mom is in tonight.
Fuck, I didn't even catch that shit.
And
God, we are so in sync, because it's around this time I also commented on just what the fuck commentary's on at this point. Like, I don't know if it's Coliseum exclusive or what, but like, this shit feels rough. There's no story being communicated here. Nothing to draw me into the match. Just generic quipping, generic play-by-play, and Jesus Christ, never shutting the fuck up about the fact that Bam Bam Bigelow has head tattoos.
No, they were.
Gorilla
They
cannot
wouldn't shut up
stop.
about Luna's facial tattoos either.
Oh my god. Yeah, they're like gorilla, dinosaur of the 70s is like gorillas fuck tattoos. Well, that doesn't seem very classy, now does it? And
speaking of gorillas, okay, so I assume this was in a relation to Luna having a normal one on the outside, to which I mean, of course, her just freaking out as always.
Dude,
And
Luna really was Vicky Guerrero's predecessor in terms of like somehow maintaining a voice that just sounds deeply painful.
Yeah, that is genuinely what her voice is.
I have no idea how the
it's one of my better fucking impressions. Anyway, Stan Lane is seeing all this, and he's suggesting that maybe Luna needs to eat a banana. To which my mind first went to the innuendo, and honestly, maybe I kind of wish it stuck to the innuendo.
Yeah.
Because what he proceeds to then say is like, hey, Gorilla, I bet you must have eaten plenty of bananas in your day. And Gorilla's like, hey, the fuck are you saying, man?
Jesus Christ. Yeah, Stan
the joke
Lane,
is, of course, Gorilla.
He's a gorilla.
Ate a lot of bananas.
Jesus Christ, Stan. Every word you say gets me a little closer to like nuclear death, I think. Also, there's some moment where Bam Bam's in a corner and Mabel comes like charging at him, and he kind of like, I think, like spin jumps and elbows him or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I was like, yeah, what are you? What?
And commentary calls it some spinning martial arts style move, which, yeah.
Hey, I bet there's a wrestler later that knows some spinning martial arts style moves. But at this point, I think Gorilla says this: who do you think put together these outfits? Referring to both wrestlers. And Stan Lane goes, maybe Ray Charles.
Thank you, Stan.
All right, amazing. And
Amazing.
okay, the match fucking ends when Mabel clotheslines Bam Bam out of the ring, except this also knocks Mabel down. And both men just lay on the ground for 10 seconds and get counted out.
Yeah, again, I guess the refs just generally counted like people in the new generation, because legitimately 10 real actual time seconds would pass and then the match would be over. It wasn't some like, we're gonna make the 10 count last for 2 fucking minutes bullshit. This was legitimately 10 seconds and you're done, and that's it. So a second fucking double count out ending, that's great. Why do we have 2 of these on here? Why is Paul Bearer so seemingly impressed by this?
All right, we cut back to Paul Bearer. And we talked about the stranger danger of the special room in the dressing room, but here might have been peak stranger danger Paul Bearer when he said, oh, I would never leave you alone.
Were you looking
especially, were you looking for me? Never leave you alone, especially in a dark, cold place like this.
Bad touch. No. Stranger danger. Calling my mom.
Get out of here.
Oh my god.
Oh, he says where he's going to take us to the theater. I think this is the one when he says that one.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, because the next time he's there. But he says going upstairs to the theater.
I can't. Man, it's so goofy, but I can't hate Paul. My man was clearly having like the most fun out of anyone in this company ever.
Hi, diddle-dee day, an actor's life is gay. I don't know any of the other words to the song.
You didn't even get the first version of the chorus. It's hi diddly D, an actor's life for me.
Shut the fuck up.
And also, I feel like it'd be slightly more appropriate if it was hi ho. It's off to my undertaker I go.
No, you see, I was trying to tie in the theater thing.
Yes, that too. Yeah, either way, Paul Bearer clearly loves what he's doing, and for that reason, even bad touch as he is here, I can't hate him all that much.
All right, time for the 4th match of this show. a WWF tag title match between the Quebecers.
Yeah, now we're on Raw.
And yeah, we are now on Raw now. A lot of these matches for the rest of the tape were just on Raw.
And we oh god, nightmare blunt rotation of McMahon and Savage on commentary. Oh god, oh geez, oh no.
At least Jerry isn't here.
At least Jerry, yeah, that's fair.
But it is there. The Quebecers are defending their tag team championships against the Head Shrinkers.
Yeah, which the Bloodline? Hello. This shit perked me up immediately.
Yeah. Fatu, Samu, their Uncle Afa, and the honorary Oos of this OG Bloodline, Captain Lou Albano.
Lou Albano? Loose Albano? I don't know. We'll workshop it. Either way, the OG Sami Zayn. Yeah, fucking Fatu steps out, and I'm like, wait, that looks like Solo Sikoa. And I'm like, wait, if that looks like Solo Sikoa, that means that's Rikishi?
It is Rikishi. Before he
fucking Rikishi jump scare ass over here.
Before Rikishi got very obsessed with asses. I
think you mean before Vince McMahon got very obsessed with Rikishi's ass.
That's fair. This is Rikishi as part of the Head Shrinkers, the kind of second generation of Afa and Sika, the Wild Samoans.
Yeah, fucking who'd have thought that Rikishi, it's so wild to think of like Rikishi being the hot new Samoan in the game. Like that man is like, it's passed on to his child. That man is very much not here anymore. But like in the 90s, he was the hot new part of the Bloodline, complete with his own personal OG Sami Zayn and everything. Man, I love the match where Lou Albano ended Sika's 800-day reign as world champion. That's my favorite. The cycle just repeats itself. Yeah,
acknowledge me.
Acknowledge me. Yeah,
the tribal cheats.
Hey, no, this shit is actually kind of sick. I perked up once. I was like, oh hey, Bloodline is here. That's fun. So that perked me up a little bit.
Yeah. So early in the match, it is the Head Shrinkers taking control. Samu hits one headbutt to Jacques Rougeau,
and he just starts seizing.
Yeah, because a headbutt from a Samoan is basically undefeatable. It is it is the most dangerous thing in a wrestling ring.
Yeah, why do you think 2 spears from Roman Reigns will allegedly just fucking murder you? It's got that bony head, man.
So the Head Shrinkers just kind of beat the shit out of the Quebecers in the early part of the match. And the Quebecers, who are Jacques Rougeau, Pierre Ouellette, who I'll talk more about that in a second. And their manager, Johnny Polo, who is the future Raven. All of these people have such interesting career paths, as Jacques Rougeau was part of the Rougeau brothers in the 80s. Oh. And then he became the Mountie.
Wait. Hold on. Hold up a second. I thought that fucking outfit looked familiar. I was like, hey, what he's wearing looks like the goddamn Mountie getup. That's a funny coincidence. Nope, I guess he just kept his
One
gear.
Of them is the Mountie.
Yeah, I guess he just kept his Quebecers gear.
And then Pierre would become a pirate. I don't remember his name off the top of my head. But then, more interestingly, I think, in terms of wrestling in 2023, Pierre would get a career renaissance in Ring of Honor as PCO, who is Frankenstein Zombie Man.
What?
Yeah, PCO is honestly sick as hell now.
But what?
He's in Impact now as well.
He's wrestling. He's wrestling in the year of our Lord 2023 as a zombie man.
Yes.
What? Impact.
Yeah, crazy.
What the fuck?
And then, of course, Johnny Polo is the future Raven of ECW.
Also, ROH
and all that.
Why is ROH letting a dumb fuck zombie gimmick in?
I mean, you could ask, why did they let Danhausen in? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Fuck you. I like Danhausen. He gets a pass. Shut up.
I do too. I'm just saying, is Ring of Honor, they eased up on we got to be the serious wrestling company a little bit. But the Quebecers have decided they're just going to leave because they're the champs and they can just take a count out loss. They do not give a fuck.
They bounce, and I'm like, are we about to get another dumb fuck count out ending?
But no. Well, first, Captain Lou decides to just go chase after them.
Yeah, Lou Ben was like, no, fuck you.
But Earl Hebner, who is the referee of this match, decides, nuh-uh, and he goes to Howard Finkel, the ring announcer, and Howard Finkel goes, if the Quebecers do not get back in the ring by the count of 10, they will not only lose the match, they will also lose the tag team championships.
Fucking based, goated, red-pilled Earl Hebner telling the Quebecers to go fuck themselves. And the Quebecers stampede back to the ring looking pissed as hell about this, which is great.
Mm-hmm. Then as we get back to a commercial break, or I think is a commercial break, they just flash a white light on the screen.
Yeah.
And then we are suddenly at a different part of the match. So,
yeah, hello again, Seizures, my old friend.
Yes. Then Alpha starts giving orders in another language. I did not bother to look up what the main language of American Samoa might be, so I'll just say another language. And Randy Savage proceeds to assume that Alpha is ordering a sandwich. I'm like, cool, great, thank you, Randy.
You.
That was very useful.
God. Nightmare blunt rotation for real. At one point, fucking Fatu gets clotheslined by one of the Quebecers and he just starts seizing.
That's just how you sell.
Was a clothesline that powerful?
Mm-hmm.
What the fucking power?
Big old USA chants happened.
Yeah,
I was like, this is surprisingly inclusive of American Samoa. Not
I
usually
know.
How that works.
I guess we just hate Canadians so goddamn much.
Yeah, fuck the French Canadians, you know?
Yeah,
fuck the Quebecers.
Even Savage calls us out. I think he also sounded a little surprised. He's like, McMahon, I think that's for the American Samoa. It looked like he was checking his notes to see if that was right. Because, I guess the crowd is like weirdly not racist about the head shrinkers. I guess they're allowed to be brown if they're baby faces. Thank you, crowd.
Your baby faces, you can, it's fine.
You get to be Americans. If not, what are these fucking foreigners doing around these parts?
So Samu hot tags in from Fatu, and then Samu, though, gets thrown into the ropes and get his neck stuck in the ropes.
Was that on purpose?
I don't think so. That was gnarly as hell.
My man, I was worried for him.
I didn't get a good look at what like the Quebecers were doing because that would have probably been the biggest hint of like whether that was supposed to happen.
From what I saw, they made it look like they were working it, but I think there was also a very deliberate attempt by them to like kind of quickly unravel him and throw him back to the center of the ring.
Yeah, because they usually do with that kind of spot is like it's like manacles, like you get you tie up your arms stuck in the ropes, not by the neck.
Not by the neck, no. That I don't think that was terribly intentional on their part. And I think Quebecers were quickly like, fuck, we gotta get him out of here.
God damn it, no. This got very dangerous very quickly.
Yeah, but like for real, this is the point where I make a note of like, this match is actually kind of sick though.
They're trying their hardest. It helps. This was a TV match.
And it helps that the bloodline just fucking rules.
They both these tag teams are good. Yes.
Yeah. Well, fuck the Quebecers because they annoy me personally, but no, there is good in-ring chemistry and there's decent work rate and I'm engaged and I am quite invested.
What a nice highlight to this video was the head shrinkers Quebecers.
It's kind of sick.
Jacques hits Samu with a pile driver and after that, we get Randy Savage saying, "Oh, don't count your chickens or your Samoans before they hatch, McMahon."
Apparently, Randy Savage thinks Samoans come out of eggs. Thank you, Randy.
Yeah, so the Quebecers go for their finisher, which we will later learn is called the Tower. Samu just rolls away, and Johnny Polo goes to interfere, gets intercepted by Albano and Alpha. Fatu goes.
So a little bit more on the failed the failed fucking finisher, because the finisher involves one of the Quebecers getting up on the other's shoulders and being like slammed down. So Samu rolling away.
It's an assisted swanton bomb, really.
Yeah. Malfunction junction. What's your because whoever the fuck was on top just goes slamming down hard onto the mat.
But then the real malfunction is they get Samu forces the Quebecers to hit each other so he can hit the hot tag to Fatu, who they hit a double team move where it's like a forward leg sweep, but both of them hold the guy down and sweep the leg. It's kind of wild. Then Fatu hits a top rope splash, and the Head Shrinkers are the new WWF Tag Team Champions.
That shit was so sick. I was not actually expecting that, but holy shit! Tag team belts go to the bloodline, the Head Shrinkers. I thought when I heard Head Shrinkers, I thought I was going to be eye rolling the whole time, but no, they're great, and it's sick that they have like Lou Albano in their corner for a second generation, and they put on a damn good match, and they got a fucking feel good win of those tag belts. That was sick. And Lou is just like smiling his pretty little face off. He is filled with joy, exuberance at this moment. It's delightful to see like a wholesome moment from old man face Lou Albano. Just feel good all around. That I actually enjoyed that a whole lot.
Yeah.
More, please. More of that.
Well, right after this, we do not get cut back to Paul Bearer for the first time tonight. Instead, the earth starts to shake.
And I don't care again.
It is Earthquake versus Atom Bomb.
Atom Bomb. Accompanied by, hi, Jim Cornette. Oh, no, not Jim Cornette. Harvey Whippleman?
Harvey Whippleman.
Harvey Whippleman. Who the fuck is Harvey Whippleman?
A known manager of the early to mid 90s.
I thought he was like young Cornette with a mustache. Not gonna lie.
No. He is known for being a manager of these kind of mid-card monster heels of this time period. He's also known for winning the WWF Women's Championship in drag. If you want proof of how little of a fuck they gave about the women's title and in the late 90s, they had Harvey dress up in drag and win the belt.
Yikes. How long did he hold that belt for?
They immediately stripped him of the title because Harvey is not a woman.
Okay.
So they immediately were like, fuck you fucking idiot. We're taking this belt away.
I'm all for intergender wrestling, but somehow that one doesn't feel quite right. Doesn't seem to work.
Anyway, yeah. So, I mean, this is big man v big man again.
Yeah, the Big Hoss 2, the Hossick Boogaloo. Also, I guess they're coming off some kind of WrestleMania story, Earthquake and Atom Bomb, either together.
Yeah, they wrestled against each other at WrestleMania 10. This is a fantastic WrestleMania rematch to have to run on back.
The commentary is really putting over the fact that this was like a whole thing at WrestleMania and they're just running it back again, and the fact that this match in particular means so much to Atom Bomb's career. Why? Like, I get we're running back a WrestleMania match, but like, shouldn't the WrestleMania match be the one that means so much to Atom Bomb's career?
Don't think about it.
Okay, I won't. Well, I didn't have very much of anything to say about this because this match means so much to Atom Bomb's career. Well, that's probably a reason I haven't fucking heard of him before, because he loses like a bitch. Pretty easily.
Okay. At one point, I don't even got the full context for why they were talking about it. But at one point, Vince just references North Korea. and presumably about North Korea having atomic bombs, given the context of, atom bomb here. And I was like, oh God, I don't miss Vince McMahon trying to fit in current topical pop culture into commentary. I don't miss it even a little bit.
Hey, y'all know Saddam Hussein?
Y'all know Kim Jong-il? Y'all know Kim Jong-il?
Yeah. Fucking golden era and new generation, but biting political commentary that Vince put forward. We're really trying to put forward a show with a message.
He also referenced some fucking thing that Madonna did at some recent awards show. He tried to tie that.
Yeah, well, okay, at least Madonna has. No, wait, no, not Madonna. I'm thinking Cyndi Lauper. Never mind.
No, there's Madonna was in the news, so we're gonna bring it up.
Thank you.
We got to show. We got to show how topical and live we are.
You have your own personal in-house, like, blonde, firebrand sex symbol, hotshot lady singer on your payroll. Her name is Cyndi Lauper. Why are you talking about Madonna?
Because this Madonna is the hot new. We got to show. Raw has to show that we are live, and we are uncut, uncensored, uncooked. So we are going to talk about pop culture.
But uncooked, raw. Yeah, but you have Cyndi Lauper. Just talk about her, and it's a much
what was Cyndi Lauper doing in 1994?
I don't know, but WWF.
Nothing. That's right. She wasn't doing anything.
To be fair, I also don't know what the fuck Madonna was doing in 1994.
Yeah, I didn't really pay it. I didn't write down what he said. I just remembered he brought up Madonna and was like, okay, thanks, Vince.
Yeah, sure, Vince, whatever.
But yeah, they also try to hint at so Harvey Whippleman has been feuding with Howard Finkel, the ring announcer. And at one point in the match, Harvey Whippleman just starts talking shit to Howard Finkel. Harvey walks away, and then Howard gets up from his chair like he's got to go do something, and then he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, that's a feud that'll sell tickets. I can feel the heat emanating off. God, I don't care. God,
Earthquake hits all of his moves, which is he hits the belly to belly, then an elbow drop, then a leg drop, and it's tremor time. So he starts jumping up and down in a circle, and then he runs and sits on Atom Bomb as he does for the win. And Gorilla, who is on commentary for this match, calls it a 6.5 on the Richter scale.
Thank you. Yeah, we got to put over that Earthquake measures on the Richter scale. Waggity, 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 wag.
So now we cut back to Paul Bearer, who is in an old abandoned theater, and he is up in the seats, and
they have to
a small tiny spotlight find him.
Yeah, which takes about 30 seconds. He's like a decent bit into his monologue before the spotlight actually fucking finds him. And he goes, I hope you love all the matches you've seen so far.
I have not.
I have not. No.
But then here's another one. Here's another one.
He's like, I don't know how to transition this. Here's another one.
We've already talked about how I'm very unhappy they just wrote Paul Bearer to have no jokes. But
Bearer, famously zero personality.
Yeah, so the next match is WWF champion Bret the Hitman Hart versus Quang.
Who? Oh, I didn't realize we were getting in this video to watch an early preview of Ant-Man 3.
Oh, right, of course.
Yeah.
That's very topical. That movie comes out tomorrow from the day we were recording this.
I have no frame of reference for anyone else whose name sounds like Quang or Kang or whatever.
Quang the Conqueror is so Quang over here is the
You sound
future.
like you have a speech impediment whenever you say it. You cannot say Quang without sounding like you struggle with saying the letter R. It's Quang.
Quang the Conqueror.
Be very
quiet. I'm hunting Quang. All right.
Oh God. Oh no.
So Quang is the future Savio Vega, who is most known for being like Steve Austin's like first WrestleMania opponent and being part of Los Barriqua and the leader of Los Barriquas.
Oh,
the
I
group of
remember
Puerto Rican dudes.
I remember that name vaguely.
Because we were in the Attitude Era for Gang Wars.
Yeah, oh yeah. The race war, I mean the gang war, I mean the faction war.
Yes. So, but before he was Savio Vega, he was Quang. They put him in a mask and they pretended he is a martial arts expert. Because he does like the tiger claw thing.
He does the tiger claw thing. He'll like jump and do something approximating.
He'll like a kick. He'll do something of a roundhouse kick. Therefore, he is a martial arts expert.
And we see off the bat. Okay, well, first of all, okay, before we get to stuff in ring, I do want to give a shout out to, I don't know. So Brett's making his entrance and he is so supremely over. He's hot dogging with the crowd. I don't know who had a better night. The kid who got the customary sunglasses, or the fucking teenage girl next to that kid who managed to like grab the side of Brett's head, pull him in, and sneak in a fucking kiss on his cheek. One of those two had the best night of either of their lives. I'm not sure which it is.
What fortitude to do that, pull that shit.
There is an audacity, Austin, that you can only find in 13-year-old girls.
That 13-year-old girl said, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take."
You don't take. Yeah, and Brett doesn't like rebuff her or anything. He just kind of like, he's like, "Oh, okay, I guess this is happening."
All right, I guess we're doing this.
Because Brett is a treasure, and the world does not deserve him. But so he eventually does make it in ring. And he and Quang are starting to kind of like get warmed up, and Quang, oh God, he's got the green mist, and he shoots it.
He sprays it up in the air, but excuse you, Vince calls it that green slime, is what he calls it.
The worst part is these fucking wrestling weeaboos probably have come up with a distinction between green mist and green slime. I mean,
they have a distinction between all the color mists.
Like yes,
what green, black, red, they got fucking means.
But yeah, I guess the green mist either doesn't do anything or is supremely cheap to get your hands on the green slime, because yeah, my man just at the beginning of the match, before the match even really starts,
he just spits it up in the air. He doesn't spit it at Brett.
So, and he doesn't ever use it ever again. So I guess maybe that one's just for aesthetic. I don't know.
Well, he's a dumb. Or he's just a dumbass.
Or he's just a dumbass. Well, if your name is Quang, you probably don't rank super high on the in-ring intelligence scale.
So Brett starts working the arm. And Harvey Whippleman they pick up his audio where it's like, "This man is gonna humiliate you." Yeah, I doubt that, Whippleman.
I somehow doubt that one.
But Brett, while he's got Quang in an arm hold, he spits at Harvey.
He does? I missed that.
No, he just has him in an arm hold. He like spits like the way you just like, normally just like spit.
Brett's like, fuck this guy.
He directs it at Harvey.
Fuck this guy and his stupid mustache.
Yep.
Here's what I think about your supposed man who will embarrass me.
But Quang, he throws Brett out of the ring and Brett hurts his wrist. Oh no.
Oh yeah. Also, I need to set up for a payoff in a little bit that Brett is like, or wait, fuck. No, this is later. Never mind. Keep going. I got my wires crossed for a second. Yeah. So we have the has
we
a
get
has
the
a
we
wrist
has a
for
thing.
it.
Yeah, but we got the best flash cut ever, where Quang has Brett against the ring post, and he goes to karate kick him, and he misses and kicks the post, and then they flash cut to Quang beating Brett's ass in the ring, with no context for how we got from A to B here.
We had a commercial break, and then another one 2 seconds after the last one ended, and now all of a sudden we're here.
Yeah, and then I snarked about not the trapezius area hold, because Quang starts working like a claw hold where he like claws into Brett's traps. Which of course, Brett, with full ability to use his arms and legs, is simply incapable of escaping this claw.
Excuse you, Austin. Were you not also an elementary schooler at one point in your life? You know how deadly that pressure point is in your trap, all right?
It is honestly the worst part about all claw holds, not just the trapezius one. That it's like he's just clawing. He's just like pawing you with one hand. Why are you not doing literally anything to get out of this?
That deadly pressure point. It you can't do anything. Someone gets you there and it's all over. You're done.
And then this match kicks into high gear because Owen Hart calls in on commentary.
I've never ever seen that before.
This is very much an early Raw idea of like have guys call into commentary to talk shit.
And somehow that idea snowballed into the anonymous general manager emailing on a laptop live. So like, maybe the idea never really went away.
But Owen is just like, I've already beat Brett and I'm going to beat him again on the Revenge Tour, because that's
there's a WrestleMania Revenge Tour.
That's how they're That's how they're branding their house shows post WrestleMania, is the WrestleMania Revenge Tour.
Yeah. Oh, and you're definitely going to get meaningful victories against Brett on the house shows.
Yeah, but Owen has already beat Brett once. In fact, at WrestleMania 10, before Brett fought Yokozuna, to make it fair to Yokozuna, Brett also had to wrestle a second match on that show. And so he wrestled Owen Hart in a one-on-one match, their best one-on-one match, and Owen beat him clean. So that was the thing coming out of WrestleMania, is Owen was pissed off that he beat his older brother. He proved that he was the superior Hart, and nobody cares about that because in the main event, Brett won the title. So nobody cares that I beat Brett.
I would be pissed too. I feel like as Owen, I'd be like, no, that's my title shot now.
Yeah, so that's what Owen's on about. But the only
also,
funny part,
dude, poor Owen on call. This man sounds like he like just woke up. He's like so low energy. He's like, yeah, I just like to submit. I hate you, Brett. You're a shitty big brother. I beat you once. I'll do it again. Come to the house shows, please.
Come to the house shows, please. Buy tickets. We need it so badly.
Yeah, I was like, this lacks the energy of the promo that the words make it sound like it should be. Because he's like, he's basically being all, I'm gonna fucking murder you, Brett. But he's just so like, yeah, I'm gonna get him on the Revenge Tour, and it's gonna be great. And just once again, fuck you, Brett.
The best part about this call-in is that Owen is trying to make a point about how he's confident and he's the best. But Brett keeps in this moment in the ring pinning Quang, so Vince has to keep cutting him off to do commentary.
I don't know if that was timed on purpose, but that was
it was very funny. But the Hitman hits the Russian leg sweep and then the sharpshooter for the win. Waka.
Remember, and Quang taps out to that shit quick. Speaking of power creep, remember when people used to just auto tap to the sharpshooter? Yo, do you remember those days? Pepperidge Farm, remember?
Then match number 7 on the show. The Quebecers are back, and so is Jeff Jarrett.
And so is fucking Men on a Mission.
And Oscar
Doink.
talks shit about Jeff Jarrett in the opening rap because it's a rap v country thing we got going on here.
Hey,
And I couldn't hear a goddamn thing Oscar was saying because they mic'd him terribly.
oh my God,
What the fuck was he even saying? I just heard noise.
Yeah, how is it that in the same week, I have watched episodes of wrestling 3 decades apart, and both of them included someone rapping at Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett just knows how to bring that out of people.
Time is a
Here's where I made a note from, I believe Gorilla might have said this. No, Gorilla didn't say that. This was Stan Lane. Where Stan Lane's referring to men on a mission. Honestly, both of them. To have a haircut like that in the ghetto, you have to be tough.
Oh my God.
He and then Gorilla reiterates his good haircut if you're going in the chair line. He really liked that line and had to keep hitting it. But yes, as David alluded to, Doink the Clown is the 6th and final wrestler here. And don't worry, he has his little buddy with him.
Yeah,
Dink the Clown!
I forgot about fucking Dink.
I was so pissed.
And this, yeah, so they all get into the ring, and on commentary, fucking what's his name? Lane?
Stan Lane.
Stan Lane calls Doink the consummate mat grappler, which big fucking X there.
Oh, you want to know what they do on commentary here as this match gets started. Gorilla is talking about tag team cohesion, and he's like, the Quebecers only speak French to each other. How is Jeff Jarrett going to communicate with them?
Yeah, I guess
they
Quebecers
know English.
Are like the Sincars of their day, refusing to speak English.
Except they do speak English
okay.
in promos.
Well then.
But we got Stan Lane saying maybe he's got a French to English translation thing in the corner.
Yes.
I would love for Jeff Jarrett to pull out a fucking French to English dictionary.
And just rapidly flipping through it, trying to find the translation for suplex.
Yep. But then.
Also, wait. Apparently, according to Gorilla Monsoon, Jacques Quebecer got arrested in New York City for something.
Oh, fucking Christ. I didn't catch that, but I know what that's a joke about.
Is this a shoot?
So, no. So in SummerSlam 91, the Mountie fought the Big Boss Man in a loser must stay overnight in a New York City jail match.
What?
The Boss Man won, and they said a whole bit of the Mountie being dragged to the police station and forcefully thrown in jail for a night.
What? Man, why is the new generation, Austin?
That's not the new generation. That was 91. That was golden era. They did that shit.
Okay, well, the golden era is also fucking goofy half the time. The new generation just crystallized it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but on the commentary, Jacques and Pierre like hug each other or something, and Stan Lane and Gorilla go full gay or European, or more accurately, gay or Canadian about it. Where they're like, Canadian, that's kind of weird how they embrace each other like that. They're like, well, they apparently do that all the time in Canada. That's apparently a thing.
No, it was fine. They turned to the camera and said, no homo. It's okay.
They said no homo. They're just Canadian.
They said no homo, but in French. Yeah. Also, man, at one point we get a close-up of like Doink. Man, that is not Matt Bourne. It's not Matt Bourne.
Nah,
like
you
can't
gone.
like you can't tell. Like if you were in the crowd, you wouldn't be able to tell because the makeup is just so like. I know for a fact that the makeup can do a really good job at disguising whoever the fuck is under it, because I've seen a clip of Jericho disguising himself as Doink the Clown and did not register that it was Jericho until he revealed himself, and someone said that's Chris Jericho. But like when you get really up close, I don't remember exactly what Matt Bourne looks like, but I know generally what his face looks like under the Doink makeup, and that did not quite line up. Oh no.
Yeah. So a significant part of the match is Doink the Clown getting his ass kicked because guess what? As I mentioned, Mo and Mabel both suck. So guess who's got to be the one to do work most of the match?
So one member of Man on a Mission starts the match, but he very quickly tags into Doink, and Jarrett's the current legal man when Doink tags in, and
Jarrett looks terrified of fighting Doink one-on-one.
Yeah, Jarrett is apparently scared to be in the ring with Doink.
This is the dorkiest Jeff Jarrett has ever looked. Is being afraid to fight Doink the Clown.
Maybe he's got a fear. Maybe he's just scared of clowns. Perfectly understandable.
So it's a lot of 3-on-1 on Doink, and to which commentary in Gorilla being a idiot is yelling at Doink for not tagging out, as if Doink has just been choosing to not do that, as opposed to just getting his ass kicked.
Yeah. So at one point, once it kind of becomes clear that Doink is staying in this match for a hot second, fucking Gorilla is he's commenting on the lawlessness of this match, and he's like, one referee cannot handle a 6-man tag, and Gorilla, I'm gonna need you to stop fucking asking questions. And then, but yeah, he does admonish Doink with a comment that feels a little metatextual, intentional or no, with Doink doesn't know when to get out, which considering they felt the need to carry on this gimmick even after Matt Bourne Rage quit, yeah, I would agree. Get Doink the fuck out of here. Get him out. Not of this match, just in general. Run him out of town. I don't care.
Yeah, so and the commentary are like, I guess the baby faces didn't do their homework, just realize they need to tag in and out. And I'm like, holy shit. The heels have just been beating up Doink this whole time. When did Doink have tagged somebody out?
There are somehow let's go Doink chants going the entire time. Why is he over?
And
why? Why is this dumb fucking clown over? He gets beat up the entire time.
Clowns.
No, they don't. That's incorrect.
Some people like clowns.
Well, I guess they are fans of a company that was founded by Vincent K. McMahon. So you know what that stands.
Yeah, so I want to say before they focused solely on Doink, there was a Pierre versus Mo set up, and I wrote the battle of the less famous tag partners, which which is fair. I mentioned the PCO thing, but more people know who the Mountie is than who PCO is. So I will 100% say shame. Pierre is the less famous Quebecer, and obviously Mo did absolutely nothing in wrestling.
If Mabel did nothing, Mo did less than nothing.
Oh, Mabel did so much shit. He won King of the Ring. He was in the Ministry of Darkness. He gained a gimmick where he is the world's biggest love machine, and he fucks people in the ass as his finisher. He did so much shit.
He wasn't terribly good, but he did do a lot.
No, he wasn't good. I'm going to be clear of that. But he has a very long and well-known career.
Oh my God. Yeah, so they're just beating up on Doink the whole time. They are not letting Men on a Mission get out on this match. So Doink keeps inching closer and closer to Hope's spots. There's this one point where he's he's about to be subject to the same fucking, I think the same assisted swanton move from the Quebecers, but he just kind of
they try to do the tower, and he
sits up. He's laying down and he sits up. And the crowd goes feral. Seeing the crowd go feral for Men on a Mission X Doink, it hurts my brain. But I mean, I guess it's cool that these dudes, even if none of them left a terribly impactful, proud legacy, it's cool that they were naturally over like this and could get this much of a reaction from the crowd, bizarre as it is. But also, well, I finished this with, but why was it booked like this? And I guess you've made it clear that's because Men on a Mission fucking suck.
Mo nor Mabel could have worked the match. So it had
They're
to be
like
Doink.
a 6-man tag. Have fun, Doink.
Yeah, but Doink finally tags in Mabel, and everyone starts whooping ass. Doink runs Jeff Jarrett to the back, and then Men on a Mission, their finishing maneuver is Mo jumps on Mabel's back, and then Mabel falls down. And that's their finisher.
Oh yeah, we gotta have the fat men use their fatness as a weapon. Yay!
And then so Mabel wins. Fantastic.
Amazing.
Paul Bearer is back in the theater, and he is showing off him and his Undertaker's favorite box in the theater to watch performances of all the ghosts of the past.
I'm getting real uncomfy.
Speaking of the past, I hope you've enjoyed all the past matches.
Why are these your picks, Paul? What about them makes them things worthy of showing us? They're not good. One of them was good. That's
You're
it.
1 for 7, and spoiler warning, he will finish 1 for 9.
Yeah, fucking true.
So the next match is Yokozuna and Crush versus Randy Savage and Lex Luger. We get an extremely long stare off between Luger and Yoko to start the match.
They also really want to put over that this is an exclusive match. You will only ever see it on Coliseum. So much so that when Randy Savage is making his entrance, they say, look at Randy making his exclusive entrance.
Oh yeah, I was like, what?
Oh my God. And also, it should be noted, Randy is limping. They're trying to put over a limp here.
Oh, I got a note to make of that.
Me too. That's our special surprise.
But I want to point out though is so is WWE champion Yokozuna not deserving of an exclusive entrance?
Well, I think they're all exclusive entrances because it's an exclusive match. Get it?
Yeah. So, okay. So they start trying to, the baby faces start the match with like working Yokozuna's arm. Fascinating strategy. But at some point they make a casual remark that Danny Davis is the referee.
Yes! Danny Davis is the ref!
I'm like, oh my God.
Also, okay, a few things, because I had a few things before they said Danny Davis. First of all, they made a comment. I think it was about Savage because he was limping, but it also might have been about Luger, where even when he's at 50%, he's dangerous. And they're
talking about Randy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna need Golden Age / New Generation commentators to stop trying to come up with mathematical proofs for wrestler performance.
None of y'all are Scott Steiner. Please stop trying.
They're not. Yeah, this isn't quite up there with. It takes 15 minutes for him to get warmed up. But still, every time some of them try to use numbers to justify, my brain melts.
And 15 minutes to warm up is a classic.
Oh God. Lex here is so fucking why is he so over? Did it really just take being America Boy? Was that it? Is that really it?
They will eventually, everyone will give up. Don't worry.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh wait, he's boring and stupid and I don't like him.
Yeah, okay.
So also, one more thing, we're getting USA chants, despite the fact that Crush is also from the USA.
All of them are technically American.
Yes, but Yoko is Scary Foreigner.
But Yoko is Scary Foreigner. Crush is friends with Scary Foreigner. And so Lex Luger is American Hero. Therefore, USA. USA. USA.
Scary Foreigner.
Mm-hmm. The heels take over the match, and they start working Randy Savage's back. And the commentary buries the fuck out of them for not working the knee.
Oh my God. Yeah, okay. So I said I had some note about general shenanigans. I don't even know what the fuck that was. This was just.
I mean, it was probably. Randy Savage. I made a note of it and skipped over it, but Randy Savage would go up to the top rope to do the elbow drop, and Mr. Fuji took the Japanese flag and whacked him in the back with it.
Yeah, Fuji's fucking around and finding out this is a shenanigan. Also, at one point, like they've got Macho Man like really disoriented, and he tries to take a swing, and I think Crush, but he ends up kind of swinging at Danny Davis, which mood. But yes, so they've got Randy Savage in the corner, and literally they start working Randy's lower back, and I'm like, why aren't they working the leg? They made a whole thing about the limb. Did Crush and Yoko not get the memo? And then Vince tries to fucking recover for it by being like, oh well, yeah, maybe the limp actually is emanating from the lower back.
They must have thought that the limp was from the lower back, and I'm like,
no. You can hear the gears turning in Vince's mind and the rage boiling behind his words of, why aren't these idiots working the leg?
Like I would almost believe that it was a shoot injury, except he doesn't really limp any other time in the match.
And they keep trying to put it over. And meanwhile, Gorilla on commentary's like, well, I just work all the limbs just for safekeeping.
Oh yeah,
just to be on the safe side.
You gotta find it. You gotta find the weakness. So just work everything. I'm like, okay.
Gorilla's like, I'm a better wrestler than all these clowns. And then Gorilla goes on to imply that Yokozuna apparently takes Godzilla tier shits.
Yeah, that checks out.
And Vince follows it up with basically saying that Yokozuna is a motherfucking fat ass. Like it's Gorilla's like, do you think Yokozuna breaks every toilet he sits on? And Vince is like, I just think he breaks every bit of furniture he sits on.
Yeah, it's like, honestly, I get it. He is a sumo. That's his gimmick.
Yeah.
But also, he will die very, very young because of health complications of the fact that he will only get fatter from here, actually.
Yeah.
And so this feels weird that they're just like, ha ha, isn't it funny how he's like 600 pounds or whatever? And it's like, he will become 600 pounds and it will end up killing him. God.
Also, Vince, oh yeah, one more great line from Gorilla. Randy Savage is in the corner getting like his head like open fist hit, and Gorilla says, Vince I think says that Randy Savage is getting hammered, and Gorilla's like, well, don't worry, Randy Savage has been hammered before.
Oh, I did. I remember that. It was like,
Oh no.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. Also, Vince like marks out for the NFL at some point. He makes some comment about how this is like the football.
Missed it.
I don't know. Either way, it's like, oh yeah, there's a great reminder that he secretly yearns to get into the football business too. Yeesh.
Yeah. All right. So Lex tags in. The match ends when Randy tags into Lex, and Lex goes to cover Crush. Yoko runs in and stops it. Savage just fight him, and Savage go start fighting on the outside. This is important.
Yes.
So Randy throws Yokozuna into the ring post, take him out. Then Randy gets in the ring, grabs Mr. Fuji's salt bucket.
While I should note, Danny Davis is getting distracted currently by Mr.
Fuji.
Who's on the other fucking side of the ring, leaving his salt bucket egregiously
unattended. Yeah, so Randy, instead of using the salt, he just clunks Crush in the head with the bucket. And
noted
then
babyface Randy Savage.
Lex Luger pins off of that and wins.
Yeah. It's when you're a babyface, man.
Lex doesn't even hit his own move to win the match. He wins because Crush got hit with a salt bucket.
Ow. Owie. We are so disinterested in pushing Lex. We're not letting him hit signature moves half the time. No.
So then we got back to Paul Bear. Paul Bear is sitting down in the lower levels of the theater but now he has a green spotlight on him, and he
Mhm.
claps for Lex Luger.
He's putting over Luger's Americanness, which I wondered why the fuck the dead gimmick would care so much about the Murica gimmick, and then I thought for a moment, I'm like, oh yeah, he heads up a funeral parlor. He's a proud member of the American petit bourgeois. Of course he's here for the Murica boy.
Yeah, so then we get to our final match as Paul Bearer says, no tape could be complete without one person, and that person is my Undertaker. So it is Undertaker versus Kona Crush.
Yeah, Crush Part 2 again. So many fucking repeat performances tonight. God damn.
And tonight, and on commentary, we get a new person. Johnny Polo is on commentary.
Yeah, who immediately is like, I'm gonna fucking murder Paul Bearer.
Okay, yeah. So the first thing that we get on this commentary is Gorilla comments on Paul Bearer coming down the aisle, and Johnny Polo calls him a fat tub of goo. Gorilla is like, I'm going to tell him you said that, And Johnny Polo says, I dare you. I'll beat him up.
I hope I was. Yeah, my man's like, this motherfucker, he's fat. He works at a funeral home. He always smells like embalming fluid. And for that reason, I reserve the right to personally, literally end his life.
And then he calls the Undertaker the underwear taker.
And a gorilla, of course, is
which is just SpongeBob's gimmick in that one episode.
Oh my god!
Where they party with Mr. Krabs and then they go on the panty raid.
Shit! I forgot about that. Oh no! Yeah. So okay. So Gorilla's all. Oh come on now. Except Gorilla does the oh come on now thing, and I guess Johnny Polo's immediately like, well, two can play at that game, because the majority of commentary on this match is one of them like saying something slightly ribby to the other, and the other one going, stop it, Ron, stop. Like, it's just back and forth. There is no God is the dynamite dynamic of Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan, where one of them's like, the stoic straight man, the other's the absolute like fucking weirdo. Johnny Polo is also a weirdo, but he seems to be enjoying pretending as though he's the straight man, and it's so bizarre to listen to.
I don't know if Johnny Polo really understood his assignment here tonight.
But does he do commentary with any regularity? Because
yes,
it sure don't
actually,
sound like
he works like the D show circuit of WWF.
Oh no,
he works some shit comment. Anyway,
trained under Mike McGurk, I'm sure.
Truly, the best part of commentary with Johnny Polo was Gorilla is Johnny Polo decides to open his fucking mouth about like knowing what's in the urn, and Gorilla tries to push him into saying it if he knows, and Johnny Polo's like, well, I'm not going to tell you though, but I do know I am omniscient and I am omnipotent. I know everything. And Gorilla goes, wait, you're impotent? You're impotent? And he's like, what? And I'm like, you're impotent. I thought you said you're impotent. And then even better after that is Johnny Polo says, I'm not impotent. And then he also says that, this is, I got to wear a suit to this because I got to show that I am impotent. He meant to say important, but he said impotent.
The best part is I couldn't tell if that was for shoot or not, because Gorilla doesn't really comment on it past that. I think it might have caught him off guard.
Yeah,
but
I thought that was hilarious.
Wait. Okay, I gotta ask you a logistical question here, because I noticed something. Was this a Raw match or was this a Coliseum match?
Probably a Coliseum match, considering who was running commentary.
So. The audience knew the audience had to have known this card ahead of time, because someone had a sign that was specifically about this matchup. There was a time when they actually promoted their cards ahead of time and the audience knew?
Back when it mattered that people showed up to live shows, sure.
What the fuck? Yeah, that was bizarre to see. It was like Undertaker will make Crush RIP, and I was like, they knew? How? Are you psychic? Yeah. So I guess they actually promoted this shit. Also,
good.
No, go ahead.
This match plays out like an early 90s Undertaker match where Undertaker is not selling anything.
Yep.
The heels try to keep him down, doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was funny. Taker goes for what we now call the old school, where he tightrope walks on the top rope, and Gorilla's like, "Whoa, that's crazy!" And Johnny Polo pipes in with like, "Yeah, well, both Michael Beckers could do that too."
Doubt. Yeah, see, I didn't fully pick up on the fact until that moment this was the Quebecers manager. So I was just like, who is this deeply weird man on commentary? And then he shouted out the fact that he managed the Quebecers. And I was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense now. I completely understand.
Yep. I wrote, Crush throws Taker into the steps and the guardrail. Crush grabs a chair and hits Taker with it. I guess the ref is just fine with that.
I guess.
Well, we cut back and we see the ref was fighting with Mr. Fuji and Paul Bearer, so I guess that's what was happening. But more importantly, they called out that the referee of this match is Bill Alfonso. And I was like, holy shit.
Wait, there's actually baggage to this? I thought they were just memeing.
Well, not baggage yet. Bill Alfonso will become a referee in ECW, where he will be remembered for being a shill-ass dirtbag ref and then becoming a hype man for Taz.
Oh.
But and being the most annoying whistleblower in the history of wrestling. Like, he is going to get a whistle and just blow on it constantly. A physical whistleblower. No, okay. A physical one. He will get a whistle and he will blow it constantly. All whistle all the time.
Oh no, my ears, oof, ow, owie.
Yes, so old Bill Alphonse, I was like, holy shit.
Oh yeah, well, I guess fucking commentary saw the writing on a wall because Johnny Polo and Gorilla Monsoon both agree that he kind of fucking sucks as a ref.
Oh yeah, Gorilla goes, where did he get his referee license? A Cracker Jack box? And Johnny's like, hey, you get your ref license there?
Johnny Polo takes this seriously.
Oh, and here's an inside joke you definitely missed. Johnny Polo then is like, the only ref worse than Bill Alfonso is Joey Morella, which this is off Gorilla because Joey Morella is Gorilla's son.
What?
Who got a job reffing in the WWF because he is Gorilla Monsoon's son.
Well, that would explain why the fuck that actually got some kind of a rise out of Gorilla. Because he says that and Gorilla's like, hey, you stop saying that right now.
Yep, no, because Joey Morella, obviously they don't acknowledge that on camera because Monsoon is not the same name as Morella. But Joey Morella is Gorilla's son. So Johnny Polo was taking a little bit of an inside joke on that one. To be like, Gorilla, you know who really sucks though? Joey Morella.
Girl's like, hey, you stop that. You shut your mouth. Yeah.
And Johnny Polo then has suggested how to beat the Undertaker. His thought is they always give him too much time to do his spooky sit-up bit, right? So you pin him quick and you hope the referee is willing to do a fast count for you. That's how you beat the Undertaker.
Yes.
And then Gorilla tries to call him out on. He's like, oh, so you want him to cheat? And when you say fast count, and then Johnny's like, I just meant not a slow count. That's all I meant.
I mean, that obviously the opposite of a slow count is a fast count. Duh. Yeah. Fucking. I feel like that'd be like some unstoppable force shit. Like even if you like got Yokozuna to sit on top of the Undertaker, the Undertaker's sit up is so inevitable that he would send Yokozuna fucking catapulting halfway across the arena. I feel like you just can't stop it. Although Gorilla then points out a potential downfall for the Undertaker, which is of course that Taker's hair is too emo for him to see out of it well.
He's got to do a lot of hair flipping.
Yeah. He's like all that hair in front of his face. How can you manage it? And it's a good question. That must have been a pain in the ass for him to see through.
So Crush has Taker in the corner. Paul Bearer lifts the urn, and Taker gets out of it. And I wrote this very specifically. Taker goozles Crush in the corner and comes or something.
Oh.
Because when he does the choke in the corner, he like shifts and rolls his eyes in the back of his head like that.
Hey, you're doing that at the wrong time, Taker.
Like you just
supposed to do that at the beginning of the match.
Face, and I'm like, I guess he came.
We do cut to Paul at one point. Man, sometimes it's really easy to forget the fact that Paul Bearer just had to spend whole ass matches mugging with the urn like that whole time. My man is working. His face must have been so sore after every.
Yeah. We get to Crush gets Taker up in the military press slam, and I thought that was really cool. However, he fucks it up because he hits a leg drop, and instead of doing anything, he just poses, and the Undertaker does the sit up. And then as Undertaker Johnny Polo, is hitting his moves.
Well, okay, so Johnny Polo takes some exception to this, to the fact that the sit up is still happening, and this prompts Gorilla to say to Johnny Polo, essentially, death is inevitable. It comes for us all, Johnny Polo.
Okay, what he said. Okay, I wrote down this exchange because I had to bring it.
Because it was insane.
So as Taker is hitting his signature moves and getting ready to gear up for the finish here, is Gorilla says, when we see a tombstone, Johnny? And Johnny goes, I hope not. And Gorilla's like, well, you will eventually, but you won't be able to say anything about it.
Oh, yeah. Gorilla's just like, death comes for us all, Johnny Polo.
But especially you, Johnny.
Polo. Holy shit. He's big mad that Johnny Polo said his son was a shitty ref. Holy shit.
So Crush tries to show how he is cooler than The Undertaker by doing The Undertaker's own move. He sets up for the tombstone, but Taker does the flippity flip reverse. And he hits Crush with a tombstone pile driver for the win. And Taker tries to like attack Crush after the match, and Paul Bearer steps in front and tells him to back off.
Yeah, which I didn't realize Paul Bearer actually had some moderation, but
I'm a baby face now, so I get no more post-match beatdowns.
So Taker is a face because he's over, but like we basically got to put over that he's still a mindless zombie, so we need Paul to like keep him in check so he can stay a baby face.
Yes,
that's hysterical. You know what? I'll give him credit. This is actually kind of a intelligent like that. They thought about the character for more than 2 seconds and the implications. I very much appreciate that. They're like, it's kind of weird for a zombie to just suddenly have a shift in morality. Let's have his handler help him out with that. Paul Bearer is like, put one foot in front of the other. Yeah. I gotta say, it's something that I'm pretty like used to nowadays, but that tombstone reversal probably was like really sick for what it was back in the day.
That probably blew some people's minds.
Oh yeah. They're like, wait, you can do that?
You can like flip your whole body over and then get him in a tombstone?
Dude, I mean, it was cool to like see how I knew that Taker was going to reverse that shit, and I've seen like pile driver reversals before. But like, credit where credit is due. For what it was back in the day, yeah, that's probably pretty fucking sick. But yeah, we cut back to the theater, and Paul says, wasn't my Undertaker just deadly? As if that's some kind of pun.
Yeah, but it's a terrible joke. But it's like,
it's not even a joke. He's just asking, like, he said an adjective that also happens to fit Taker's aesthetic. That's not.
But I needed more of that on this show.
Oh my god.
But then he signs us off. And he said, I hope to see you again. We hope to see you again here at the theater. Until then, may you rest in peace.
Yeah, he invites us to a special date at his creepy theater before he wishes us resting in peace. Bad touch, bad touch.
I feel like that means he wants us to come back, but as the ghosts that perform in the theater.
Yes. Either way, Even if I'm non-corporeal, it still feels like a bad touch.
Yeah, so this
Oh god,
this whole fucking
this
thing,
fucking
this
thing,
was 2
Austin.
hours of not worth it.
Yeah, why? 2 hours of just not fucking worth it. What? Why is this? Why was it these matches? Why did they make Paul Bearer the MC? What were they going for? Why were 99% of the matches on this Garbo? What? Like, I'm happy I got to see the Head Shrinkers win. That made it all kind of worth it. But aside from that, it was dumb. It was
Yeah, this was
really
the
dumb.
Yep, regretting this choice. They got me. They got
They
me with the
bamboozled you.
title, and we got me to sit through that. But I already know what
You
the
know
fifth
what?
one of these damn things is
Wait,
gonna be.
wait. I realize that's probably the strategy. They're like, well, we're just gonna shove a bunch of matches on here. Are they terribly good? No, but we'll get the kids to buy it by slapping I don't know who's over now. Paul. We'll get Paul. We'll get Paul to do it. Slap his name on there. The kids will come flocking.
Probably.
You apparently are proof positive that marketing strategy worked. So bada bing, bada boom.
Well, I already know what the fifth one of these damn things is going to be we're doing here, and it's not as bad as this one. I already know that for certain. But that is for a future episode. Next time, we return to the temple.
Thank
as
God.
we finally come back to
I need a palate cleanser.
2 of Lucha Underground.
Ooh, baby. Love me some Lucha.
Yep,
love me some of that Lucha.
Until then, David, go ahead and hit our plugs.
Yes, sir. All right, I'm gonna attempt to get through this whole fucking monologue
good luck
without
with this,
coughing.
I can't. I don't remember any of your monologues, so you're gonna have
to. Don't. You mean it's not ingrained into your brain after like 100 plus episodes?
I to kind of shoot right now. Half the time I zone you out, so
that's
like,
totally
know
fine.
when
You're
it's
busy
time
looking
to
shit
do
up.
That.
Yeah, I see.
I know when
see
it's my
change
time
on your,
to talk. So,
I see the change on your computer screen, and I know you're looking up like the pay-per-view cards, and I'm like, all right, well, Austin's out. I'm just doing this solo. All right. Wish me luck, folks. I'm gonna take one nice swig of water. All right. Yes, sir, my friends, my dear friends. Thank you so much for once again joining us on yet another episode of the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast. We are so delighted to have you here. If you're a returning listener, viewer, what have you, you know the drill. Thank you all so much for once again welcoming us back into your eardrums, your eyeballs, whatever it is you use to consume our content. We're just so happy to have you here, and just thank you for sticking around with us. New people, hey, hi, how's it going? Welcome to the show. We here at the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast like to think we are friendly to both noobs and knockouts alike. So whether you're brand new to the wild, wacky world of wrestling, or you're a veteran of all the weird bullshit, either way, we hope you feel welcome here. We hope everything around here feels like nice and accessible and entertaining for you, and we hope you want to keep coming back. If you would like to keep coming back, I will tell you the 4 main ways you can do so. You're obviously going to be using one of them right now, but I'll tell you about the other 3 anyway. So, first of all, of course, you can find us on YouTube. We are the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on YouTube. Hit subscribe, ring that bell, make sure it turns a nice little solid color so you get notifications every single time we drop a brand new episode. Give us that sweet engagement. Of course, check out all of our playlists. Awesome is kind enough to organize all of the arcs that we follow all into their own separate playlists, so you can follow one storyline all the way down without having to skip around a whole lot. It's a good time. And of course, on more recent episodes, you can see our beautiful, lovely faces and all the little visual gags that we hide in here for all of you.
Visual gags are David blowing his nose.
And
coughing and drinking water and coughing.
And drinking water and tastefully draping a blanket over myself to sell the Palpatine joke at the beginning. Excuse you. Yes, but of course, if you don't want to see me blowing my nose, which who wouldn't want to see me doing that?
That's top tier content right there.
Absolutely, baby. That's what the people pay us the big bucks for. No, so of course, we have the audio only option as well. You can find us on 3 of the best places to find your podcast, which would be Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Come check us out there. Give us a nice little listenerino. Download our episodes if you would be so kind. Rate us. Give us a nice little 5-star rating if you're so inclined, and maybe a nice little review that says, hey, these guys are pretty cool, and maybe more people should be checking them out. I don't know. I'm just saying. Either way, all that helps out the show so tremendously. So if you're a fan of us and you want to help spread the good word of Noobs and Knockouts, please give us that sweet engagement on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts as well. But of course, we have a presence just beyond this show. You can find us on some of the social media too. First and foremost, of course, is our Twitter. You can find us at Noobs and Knox Pod on Twitter. That's at the letter N. At Noobs, the letter N, Knox Pod on Twitter. Come check us out. We post memes. We engage in discourse. We post every single time we drop a brand new episode, so you guys always know what the hell is going on. Of course, the highlight of our Twitter is weekly wrestling live tweeting. That is something I've been kind of at the helm of, or some semblance of it, as I do homework while watching wrestling recently. But either way, every Wednesday night, of course, at 8 p.m. on TBS, we are watching What Else? AEW Dynamite. I'm tweeting all about that good shit. And of course, on Fridays, if I have the time, the availability, and I'm feeling, kind of spicy, we will also be watching on Friday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern on TNT AEW Rampage. It is the show that y'all been waiting on. We're big AEW marks around here, so much so that not only do we live tweet the weekly shows, but of course we also live tweet about the AEW pay-per-views, and we also like to tell you about what's going on with all the major company pay-per-views. So my friend, what is on the docket coming up?
Yeah, so right now for Impact Wrestling, they're about to put on one of their Impact Plus exclusive shows. Decided to bring that up so I don't also only have 4 shows a year to talk about.
Hey.
We have No Surrender coming up Friday, February 24th. Mickey James versus Masha Slamovich, Josh Alexander versus Rich Swann for the world title. A 4-way match to determine the number 1 contender for the Impact World Championship. Brian Myers, PCO. Hey, we just talked about that guy.
Hey.
Steve Macklin and Heath Slater are in that 4-way match.
That motherfucker.
Yeah. Time Machine, that is the Motor City Machine Guns, and Kushida versus the Bullet Club, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, and Kenta. Deonna Purrazzo versus Giselle Shaw. Mike Bailey versus Jonathan Gresham. That could be one of the best. That could be a sleeper contender for one of the better matches of the show, if not year, honestly.
Ooh.
Death Dolls versus the Hex. Allison Kay and Marty Bell. That's a throwback to some early 2010s Impact Wrestling coming back to you there. That's for the Knockouts World Tag Titles. And we have Frankie Kazarian versus Khan. The former Connor of the Ascension, if you remember them from the NXT days. Hell yeah. As he is now part of a cult group with Cody Deaner, Sami Callihan, and Alan Angels. Yeah, in kayfabe, Alan Angels has gone from a spooky, fun, ha-ha cult to a spooky, serious, evil cult. So,
damn, dude, it's that fucking cult brain. You get out of one, you just want to go right to another.
Yeah, so this is available on Impact Plus, the Impact streaming service, as well as if you become a YouTube member, you can watch it live. For AEW, they got Revolution coming on March 5th.
And holy shit, this card went from like being one implied match to holy fuck, it be poppin'.
I'll be honest, haven't watched Dynamite yet this week.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised by any of the matches announced so far that I didn't already know about, but MJF versus Bryan Danielson in an Iron Man match for the world title. The Guns versus the Acclaimed and a Battle Royal winner. 2 Battle Royal winners in a 4-way tag team match.
A 4-way tag for the AEW titles. Holy shit.
Moxley versus Hangman Page in a Texas death match. That's about right. And Samoa Joe versus Wardlow for the TNT Championship.
Ooh.
They are just holding that belt warm for Mark Briscoe. Let me tell you what.
Ooh, that's your take. I'm interested to see if they roll with that or not.
Yeah, and then for WWE, this will be dropping after Elimination Chamber, but that hasn't happened yet. So the next pay-per-view from release date of this episode is WrestleMania 39.
Oh,
WrestleMania
shit,
goes Hollywood. In addition to NXT TakeOver, Stand and Deliver, We'll be definitely bringing you matches about that because I'm really loving NXT right now.
Yeah.
I'm a proud member of Chase University. If you
Yeah,
know, you
Austin's
know.
been telling me a lot about NXT, and since I've been kind of under the weather, I haven't been responding to a lot of his messages about it because I'm just so fucking out of it. But I know he's into it right now. I know he's
I
feeling
am
that NXT
into it.
life.
But at WrestleMania, it will be for the undisputed, the Uwu Championship.
Ooh,
It will be 99% likely to be Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the
yes.
title. For the SmackDown Women's title, Rhea Ripley has called her shot. Mommy has called her shot. She will be facing Charlotte for the SmackDown title. And then Bianca was facing the winner of the Elimination Chamber match for the Raw Women's title. If next week I am not here saying it is Bianca versus Asuka, I will be surprised.
Oh my, that sounds good.
Yep. So that is where a WrestleMania Goes Hollywood is right now. That is April 1st and April 2nd. Stand and Deliver is also April 1st, but it will be taking place in the middle of the day. NXT Stand and Deliver will be at 1 p.m. Eastern, and then later that night is WrestleMania 39 date night one.
Wait, they don't have a March pay-per-view?
Nah, man, we are going straight to Mania.
Oh shit! I guess Triple H is trying to eliminate some shit.
They like to put WrestleMania like early April now. It used to be late March, and now it's early April.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It's been a hot second since it's been literally April 1st, though. I'll say that. April Fool's Day. Can my April Fool's Day prank be Sami Zayn versus Cody Rhodes for the Uwu title?
Please. Holy shit.
But yeah, that's what's coming up in the wrestling world right now.
Hell yeah.
I will almost certainly be buying a significant number of the indie shows for WrestleMania weekend. So if I have anything interesting I would like to point out for the WrestleMania weekend extravaganza, we'll be bringing it up as time goes on.
Please. We love WrestleMania weekend. Yeah, no, be sure to check all that out, guys. If you're a noob, pay-per-views are a great jumping on point for stories and like kind of getting into a new chapter of each company's story. I highly recommend checking that shit out. It's a good time. And not terribly hard to yoho those things sometimes either. But yeah, and just check it out over on the Twitter if you like listening to us ramble about wrestling for long periods of time for whatever reason. The Twitter is pretty much that, but in text form. You'll enjoy it. Come join us, Noobs and Knockouts Pod on Twitter. But of course, if you want to get in super direct and maybe more long form contact with us, you can do that over on our email address. We also have an email address, noobsandknockoutspod@gmail.com. That's noobs, the word and this time, knockoutspod@gmail.com. Come say hi to us. Tell us what you think about the show. Tell us things you want us to cover on the show. Tell us that our hot takes are super based and red pilled or dumb and you fucking hate them, and we'll discourse with you over it, of course. But just generally come say hi. We love people saying hi. We would love to say hi back. Noobs and knockoutspod@gmail.com. And of course, finally, we are also on Patreon. We are the Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on Patreon. $1 a month gives you early access to episodes and a shout out at the end of each episode. Shout out to friend of the show, the Sugar Daddy Kyle Smith, for his contribution. We love you, buddy. We hope you enjoy your perks. If you want to enjoy your perks along with our boy Kyle, join us over on the Patreon. Just a single bone a month helps out the show more than you know. And hey, you can find the link for that in our Twitter.
See y'all next time.
Hasta luego.